It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Third birthday. High rollers, third birthday today.
Woo!
Hi, I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes, and today is our second campaign, Erois's third birthday. Maybe it was on Thursday, but today's the first day we're celebrating it because today's an Erois episode. Thank you very much, everybody who's already posted amazing art, well wishes, or given us gift subs and things like that. Thank you very much. As I mentioned, I'm Mark Sherlock Humes. I'm your Dungeon Master here on High Rollers D&D, here on High Rollers D&D on Twitch. I'm joined by these people.
Hey!
Happy birthday.
Another slick professional intro.
Nailed it.
Nailed
Nice.
it.
Another
Another
one in the
fight.
bag.
Rhiannon, Tom,
Hello.
Katie, Trot, and Kim. Starting
Hello.
from this side, that's Rhiannon, that's Kim, and then you can work out everybody from there if you're new.
I'm Trot.
Yeah, well
Etc.
done. Welcome everybody. As mentioned, it's very exciting. 3 years. 3 years we've been doing this campaign. Can you believe it?
Who'd have thought?
Our first
Wow.
campaign
Speaking of three-
was only 2
Speaking
years.
of 3 years, Mark,
Wow.
by the way, we have a, we've got a little surprise for you.
Oh no. What are you doing? Is this an attempt to make me cry? It's not gonna
No.
work.
No.
Not only is Erois such a big source of inspiration and joy and
Stop
fun,
it.
it's also incredible to be part of such a big community of people who all like the same thing. And I am very grateful to have met all these amazing people throughout the years. Clear skies.
Erois is, it means a lot to me. I don't know, I just like it. It's,
Very
watching it
pleased
for
you
the last
didn't tell
couple
me
of
about
years
this.
has helped me a lot, you know? Like, I've met people, I've thought about myself, and it's just been great. Clear skies, I guess.
Erois inspired me to become an animator. Just the story and the characters and everything are just so incredible, and I don't think I'd be where I am without you. Thanks. Clear skies.
High Rollers, thank you so much for allowing us to join you on this amazing journey. Taking care of my father during the last years of his battle with cancer was hard. I sometimes struggled to continue on myself, in fact. But being with you through the laughs and the tears saw me through. Seeing Quill on his first flight after regaining his wing and Sentry's reunion with Petal, watching Nova stumble through romance and Lucius losing his entire family yet eventually regaining a small part of it, watching Ayla just generally being an absolute badass despite it all, and the many, many amazing and memorable NPCs helped me so much. Tom, Bree, Kim, Trot, Katie, and of course Mark, you helped me so much. Clear skies.
Hi everyone, I'm Rosie. I just want to say that discovering High Rollers and watching through Erois, basically in the beginning of lockdown, basically at the start of the lockdown and the pandemic, just helped me through a really tough time period, and just helped everyone through this time period. Really, it's been an amazing community to have like many laughs and discussions in, and honestly, I've met some of the best friends I could ever ask for in here. So thank you so much, Erois. Thank you so much, High Rollers. Yeah, clear skies.
Since stumbling into the High Rollers community in 2016, I have found nothing but entertainment and joy and community and friendship and an endless source of inspiration. And I want to say thank you, because my life would look very, very different and definitely worse if I hadn't found this amazing community. Every piece of art I make is a message of gratitude and love. Clear skies.
Hi, High Rollers. Congratulations on 3 years of Erois. It's been such a pleasure and such a joy to come along in this journey for this beautiful story that you have put together. I obviously came in slightly late to the party, but it's got amidst the pandemic. I've met so many amazing people, and it's been so inspiring to watch you play, and I hope that you will enjoy the rest of the campaign as much as I'm sure we will all enjoy watching it, and to many more years of Dungeons and Dragons. Cheers, guys!
Hello to the High Rollers crew. It's me, Matt, the guy that sends you random garbled noise and calls it music. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for inspiring me to make things that I thought would be impossible. And as always, clear skies.
3 years of adventure, the laughs, the feels, the friends we made along the way. Let's keep them rolling. Clear skies.
Erois is to me like a favourite book. The characters are people we've met and grown to love. We've voyaged with them, cheering at their triumphs and crying at their tragedies. They are now old friends, and we care very deeply what happens to them, even the NPCs so beautifully played by Mark. We've learned a great deal about the power of friendship, love and honour, the dangers of ignoring mental health problems, and when it's appropriate to smack someone in the face with a hammer. Thanks to the High Rollers, there is a beautiful community that's been born, just because they wanted to share their D&D game. To the players and to Mark, the great creator of this wonderful, immersive world and its many characters, I offer my heartfelt thanks and my wishes for a happy 3rd anniversary, hoping that you always manage to find clear skies.
Happy 3rd anniversary, Erois. Growing to love the main characters, as well as many of the wonderful NPCs, has been incredible, including the goblin who must not be named. This amazing world Mark has created for all of us to share is beyond spectacular, from the rich descriptions of the world to the unique new races to the fun guest appearances. He has brought us to tears during the more poignant moments while bringing us great happiness during the triumphant ones. A heartfelt thank you to Mark, Kim, Trot, Katie, Tom, and Ree for taking us along for the ride with you on this fantastic journey. We are eternally grateful. Signing off for now, clear skies.
Hi, I'm Pegels. Happy 3 years of Erois. Looking back, High Rollers has pushed me to do so many new things. It got me into D&D, fantastic online community, and even the art I do today. It even somehow convinced me to make a Smig puppet for a crappy 30-second video. So, know that all of you have genuinely changed my life. Anything you want to say, Smig? Thanks, Smig. Clear skies.
Erois was my first introduction to High Rollers, and from the moment I joined that crashing airship, I knew I'd found something special. Since then, I've laughed over hyper-caffeinated detectives, I've cried over a mending cantrip, I've stressed so much over corridors. I could talk about everything I love for hours, but if I have to pick just one thing, it's how much the party and their friends love each other. How they'll cross the astral sea, fight through hordes of demons or the Valkyrian army, even challenge death itself rather than ever give up on one of their own. Mark once said, home is where you can find happiness, and High Rollers is definitely part of mine. Happy 3 years and clear skies.
Hey there, Rollers. Happy 3rd anniversary for Erois. This show has been an important part of my life for a long while now. It's taken me through year 13, to uni, to now where I'm working. I changed from having no clue what this nerdy game was, to the point where I'm now in my 2nd campaign. I loved Lightfall and all of the other miniseries, but Erois is truly something special. I love the characters that we've come to know over these past 3 years so much. We have Quill, the reliable guide and friend, Sentry, the unstoppable force of wholesomeness, Nova, the adorable genius, Lucius, the ever so fabulous and tragic, and lastly, Ayla, the delightful badass. All of you guys inspire me to be a better role player, and just player in general, the way that you guys interact with each other, the NPCs, and the world around you. And what a world it is. Mark, you have crafted a fantasy/sci-fi epic that rivals a lot of things out there. The meaning and story behind every location feels important. The characters that you bring to life resonate with us, making us want to root for them or hate them, and all of it pulls us deeper into this world. I can't list off the amount of times this show has made me feel all the emotions, or how many times I thought, this episode is even better than the ones before. I can't really put into words how grateful I am that you guys have let us sit in on you guys all having fun in this wonderful game, and to enjoy the story that you've shaped together. I can say thank you and clear skies.
Hi, I'm Spec, founder of the High Rollers Wiki. I started the wiki because I felt the show deserved a place to more easily memorialise the incredible lore, beautiful descriptions and meaningful characters that we've together to make the wonderful stories High Rollers have told, as well as help out my fellow fan artists. My love for Aerois really lies at the centre of all of that. Aerois captured my heart in a way that no other story has, and tuning in every week to experience it alongside the community has really been a joy. It's truly one of the most friendly and talented groups of people that I've ever been a part of, brought together by this incredible campaign and show, and through which I even met my own D&D party who've been playing together for over a year now. I can't wait to continue to laugh, cry, sometimes both, as well as frantically document where this amazing campaign takes us, and I can't wait to see where that is. Clear skies!
Hey, it's Zephyr. So I used to casually tune in, and I vividly remember the whole Abbey sequence where Sentry fell for the first time. The whole scene was so mind-blowing to me, and that's when I realised that I was watching something really special, and this was a level of D&D that I just never had seen before. All the emotion, Sentry putting her life on the line, when Mark figured out how to deal with the portals, and Valor's intervention on the fly, that was crazy. Since then, I've never missed a week. I've played some of your one-shots with my group, and I've gushed to them about the crazy story moments you guys create every week. And every week gets wilder and more impressive, and I love seeing your inspirations and references sprinkled throughout the show, because when we can see something that you guys are passionate about, it makes the show more exciting for us. Thank you, High Rollers. Clear skies.
My favourite thing about High Rollers is the atmosphere and how it feels like you're just hanging out the pub with your mates. I love how any moment can devolve into ribbing Tom or despairing at another run of Rhiannon's low rolls, or how Trot and Mark always seem to try and dig that knife just a little bit deeper during a sad moment. I love how I can be smiling from the first word of an episode every single time. Clear skies, everybody.
Hey, Zaki here. Congratulations, Mark, and all the team on 3 years of Aerois. It is a fantastic achievement and a testament to the hard work and dedication you put into making the show each week. It has been an amazing experience to be part of this community from the very beginning and watching it grow to what it is today. So many people have shared stories about how the show inspired them to start their own campaigns, to make something, or really just brighten their day. And that is something you can be very, very proud of. So a massive thank you to all of you, and I wish you a continued success with the series. Clear skies.
Hello, Nightjar here. Using TTS really isn't going to do much to sway people from rumors that I'm actually a bot, but what are you going to do? I'm not entirely sure what to say, you know I'm not great with words, but I guess I just wanted to say thank you. High Rollers has always meant so much to me. Lightfall was my first true experience of D&D. Aerois, however, holds a slightly more special place in my heart. It was during this campaign that you trusted me enough to become one of your mods, and more importantly, your friend. Thank you for this beautiful world that you created so carefully and so lovingly. This amazing world that has given the HR crew so much room to grow and breathe life into their equally as amazing characters. Thank you for the rich multitude of NPCs, and for always striving to be as respectful and inclusive as possible in your creations. Thank you for the stunning storytelling, the gorgeous speeches, and captivatingly detailed descriptions. Thank you for the many laughs, the many tears, and the many moments of utter emotional devastation. Thank you for letting me live vicariously through your adventures. There was an interview you and Kim gave back during Lightfall, when you paraphrased Chris Perkins talking about points of light in the darkness when building locations in campaigns. That line always stuck with me, and even if you weren't the one who coined it, ever since then I've associated that feeling with High Rollers. Especially over the last few years, when things haven't always gone as I'd have wanted, Aerois has really become that for me. So thank you so much, for making one more point of light in the darkness for me. Much love, and clear skies.
Got him.
Mm.
We got him. Thank you, Ree, for organising that, and Kim as well, and everybody that took part in that.
Thank you.
You fucking
Thank you so
dicks.
much.
For not telling me about that.
Oh, it has been hard keeping this quiet.
Yeah. To deal with Coco's graduation this week, and now this. Fuck you. Fuck you all.
Thank you everybody for submitting clips, and for Nightjar and the mod team, and Kim for organising everything, and for everybody for all your feedback.
Yeah,
Ree had to edit that. She had to put
Yeah,
that
Ree edited
together
that.
and
She had to
make
watch
it.
it again and again. Yeah.
Yep. Great idea,
Thank you
Ree.
very much.
Thank you everyone that took part. It means a lot. Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean,
also, so cool getting to put some faces to names that have been with us for so long, but, you know, to
And
us, we only ever
voices.
see, you know, text names or Twitter profiles and things like that. Getting to see some of your faces was awesome. Like,
they're real. They're real people.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Nightjar, we're not sure.
Nightjar is a bot.
Nightjar
Pretty sure
still,
bot.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've
Yeah.
literally, you know, taken Nightjar out of the box to walk around conventions with me. She's just a robot.
Can confirm.
And confirm.
Oh, dear. Now you got to just DM for 3 hours, if that's all right.
Well, before we do that, you, Chris Trott, have to tell all these wonderful people about our amazing
Oh my God.
returning sponsor who's been with us for 3 years, D&D Beyond.
I thought you were going to say you've got a surprise for us.
That would be great.
Chris Trott plays video.
Hi, throughout the 3 years. Yeah, D&D Beyond, awesome. Thank you so much for sponsoring. In fact, I think, and now I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm pretty sure D&D Beyond have added this new feature specifically because of Aerois and the 3rd anniversary. Of course, our story is taking a bit of a dark turn. Things are getting pretty bad. So clearly they've released the Underdark dark mode in celebration of our, you know, climactic endgame of Aerois, right? That's definitely why they did it. Anyway,
Thank you, D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
thanks D&D
thank
Beyond
you.
for doing that specifically for us. If you check out your character sheets now, you can turn on, finally, a dark mode. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
You won't believe.
Yep.
So enable it, save your eyes, and get on it. And of course, they're always updating it with amazing new features, and they've got really cool tools and stuff. But dark mode's the best thing.
Just as a point, I think of how D&D Beyond was when we started Aerois to what's available now. When we started Aerois, there wasn't a combat tracker. There wasn't the encounter builder. I didn't have any of those stuff. Like
No
there
dice
was no
rolling.
digital dice. You didn't have any of the digital dice in there. Like so many new books have been added, so many like articles. They've done like whole articles on like how to create all this, you know, your own awesome homebrew stuff. There's free adventures that you can get just on their you know, their journal and stuff. They've done a lot as well. Like D&D Beyond have definitely been a big part of just going with the Aerois journey.
Yeah, I mean, 3 years ago when we started, it was already a massive improvement to what we'd done before. So now it's ridiculously good. It's so good.
Absolutely.
Couldn't play it without it. Couldn't play D&D without it.
You could, it just wouldn't be as easy. You'd be back to rubbing out.
No, I mean, I
points and-
refuse. I refuse to play D&D without it.
Which is fair enough.
Oh.
There you go. That's all we have to say about D&D Beyond. You know the drill. It's amazing. Go check it out. Thank you.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
Oh, that's the other thing is use the link in chat. One thing I always try and make sure that we
Yes.
point out is there's a link in chat or in the video description or in the podcast description, hopefully, Tom, that if you use that link and you create an account or you buy something or you subscribe after clicking that link, that's a huge help to us. So if you're thinking like, well, you know, I've been holding off buying the Player's Handbook or I've been holding off subscribing to D&D Beyond, but you want to make that commitment, use our link. Please use our link and then do it.
It's our
because
third
it does.
birthday. Don't make us cry. Come
Yeah,
on.
again. Well, yeah. Yeah.
What's up?
Hey,
Yep.
it's
I
Ree's
gotta
fault.
remember
good.
this.
It's Ree's
I'll
fault.
fucking remember this. Rhiannon and Kim especially, and
It was
Nightjar.
a nice thing to do.
It was a
Mark.
nice
You
thing,
can't
but
punish
like,
us.
just fucking tell me about it so that I don't have it.
I think
so
the message
sudden.
in the secret server where we set it up, I think the message that Tom put in was the goal is to make Mark cry.
I put a list of why we're
congratulations.
doing it and what to do, and make Mark cry was goal number one.
Well,
tick
just,
that box.
well done.
Achieved.
we
Achieved.
just be thankful that the conclusion of our conversation of should we have Mark's face up during the whole bit, the conclusion was no, because there was an option at a point where your face would be up for the whole thing, and we decided not to.
At the start, I was up for a little bit, and then I think he realised, like, no, actually, let's just cut. Let's not do that.
I need to just be conscious of you looking at yourself the whole time. So
Yeah.
I
And we wanted
because
to-
and I'd be, So, all right. Well, listen, thank you again very much for all the lovely messages. We're gonna play some D&D now, and not just talk about our 3-year campaign. But yeah, thank you all very much. Let's play the Dun-Duns. Welcome back to Aerois. After returning to the Sky City of Horizon, rescuing Vala Valkyrian from the astral ship the Tassadar, and returning home to many questions and potential new goals, the party have set forth towards the City of Glass in the hopes of rescuing the Guardians assembled there by Herald ahead of Sentry. After being attacked in Horizon streets, the party now know that a faction of Guardians have become corrupted and become servants of the old god Hadar, a hungering entity that threatens the multiverse. Calling themselves the Dominators, these corrupted constructs feed off magical energy, and their leader, Overlord Veracitor, a Guardian once called Breeze, whom the party had encountered, greatly desires the prime matrix that Sentry now holds. As they near the continent of Gisela, where the City of Glass is located, the Horizon Scouts report that the Peninsula Ruin is under attack by enemy forces, a fleet of airships and ground troops held off by a small rebel force and Guardians assembled there, but they will not last long. The party decide haste is necessary and to head down to ground level first, leaving the mobile Sky City to deal with the airship fleet. And that's where we're going to kick off today. It has been a week. We missed last week. So as a little kind of, again, if you've got any questions or you want refreshers on any details, now's probably the best time to ask. But
How do play
Horizon
D&D,
itself...
Mark?
Huh?
How do play?
I don't need to answer that question. We've been doing this 5 years. You can try and play like you don't know, but
How
you know.
do?
You say a thing and then you roll a die, and then sometimes that thing works and sometimes it doesn't, and that's it.
Roll an intelligence check. I did.
Horizon is on its way into the to hover over the peninsula of where the City of Glass is located, this northern peninsula from the continent of Gisela. It's en route. You can't turn around. This is going to happen. Now there's really the only real decisions left is how you're going to get down to the ground, and if you are definitely locked in that, right, we're going to go down to the ground and deal with that first. Where do you want to go? How are you going to get there? And yeah, any other kind of plans, questions, or preparations you want to make. You have maybe an hour tops before the city is in position. You can see that there is a fleet of airships kind of around the City of Glass. You can see, from the distance, from the scouting reports, there are massed ground troops with Magitech weapons, with Magitech vehicles, all in position, and it's only because this small defense force has such a choke point that they've been able to hold them off this long, because they have a real choke point into the City of Glass, and that is pretty much where we are
now.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, last week we had a garbled message from the ground, which kind of urged us to want to help specifically. I believe we left it that we wanted to go down ourselves, right, to help on the front lines.
There was Quill attempted to use the sending spell to contact Herald. The message was garbled. It wasn't necessarily a call for help, but it was too corrupted to really glean any real purpose to the message. There were certainly phrases that were mentioned. There were keywords that might imply certain things, but it was very hard to get the intent of the meaning. Quill also scryed on Herald and learned that they were... Nova, scryed on Herald. I'm just used to Quill doing it. That Herald is in the City of Glass, is being attacked by some enemy, you don't know who, whether it's the Valkyrian forces working with the Sansian Commonwealth, whether it's the Dominant, you don't know, but they were under attack. They do have some allies with them. They had some Guardians with them who were helping them, but you weren't sure exactly where they were. The City of Glass is huge. It was once a massive metropolis. Locating them is gonna be difficult if you just try and fly down there. You're gonna need some clues as to where they may have gone.
So last time we were there, we spent a long time sort of fighting through the City of Glass to get to, like, I feel like there was a temple on a hill at the very, very top of the City of Glass, and that's kind of where we ended up. This is from a long time ago.
No, it was in the middle. It was in the very center of the City of Glass. Like the top end of the peninsula, is just more of the city. You ended up in a temple very close to the center of the city. It was a temple to Siaska. It was an old temple to Siaska.
Yeah.
Can I make a roll, maybe history or something like that, to kind of like, given what Nova saw in the scry, if she recognizes it from when they were there last?
I don't think that wouldn't be a history check, because history is more about sort of ancient history and things like that. I would say that because the scry is only 10 feet around the subject, it's just not deep. There was no landmarks. It was all just crowded, glass-covered buildings. I don't think that it would be enough, really, for Nova to be able to glean anything. If they'd been near like a building or anything like that, but they hadn't been. It was like Herald was trying to move through like crowded streets, and there's just too many of them. It's such a big city.
Doesn't Quill have locate object
creature.
Or person from the book? Creature, yeah.
Yeah, I do, but it's 1,000 feet, which I feel like we're way beyond at the moment. So,
It's a good choice,
currently
though,
you are
when we
well
get
beyond.
closer.
When you get closer, this is another thing I mentioned in the previous episode. Horizon cannot lower down to the ground. Horizon, it would be too disruptive to the city. It can't go lower. It can move around, but it can't get closer to the ground. It is going to be at least 2,000 feet up from the ground level, right? I'm also going to show you guys a little map here, because Commander Rain, or Lieutenant Rain, who has been sort of your liaison here in Horizon, a very sort of not effeminate, but a kind of more slim, angled features man, half elf, with sort of military background, wearing an officer's uniform. Rain comes to you and has like drafted up maps, presents you with information that the scouts reported and things like that, and sits down and says, "We've projected our current course in towards the Gisellan Peninsula. Examining Horizon's current altitude and our vector of attack, we suspect that we'll be approaching in from the eastern side of the continent. It will be difficult for us. The Horizon as a city cannot maneuver deftly. We are not some nimble airship. Once we pick a direction, Danica can basically make it stop and go. Turning is not in the city's best operations. You will need to decide how you are going to get down to the ground, and where you wish to go when you are ending there. I've drawn up a basic map, and we've divided it into quadrants based on some of our projections of the city there. And if you go on to
where we
Roll20,
dropping, boys?
Cool.
Where we drop in, boys, is a very
That looks
apt
so
statement.
cool.
Oh,
That
Tom
looks
Hayes.
awesome.
So the grey line is the path that Horizon will be taking. You can drop at any point, and in fact, you're going to be dropping when you leave the city to prevent the city from being overwhelmed by the airships. Rain is suggesting that you drop off above this island just off the coast. Depending on how you get down to the ground, there may be complications. That there may be things that set you off course. There may be things that attack you. You don't know what to expect going down. You will need to decide where you want your landing zone to be. Now, keep in mind that the more clustered, like if you try and land in the City of Glass, even if you have flying spells, even if you have, other things, it is going to be dangerous to try and land at a very high speed into those places. So you're going to need to think about where you want to land. You want to think about where you might be needed, where you're going to provide the best aid. Do you just want to rush to Herald ASAP? Do you want to try and help the rebel forces fend off this attack? What's the plan?
We only go in this direction, or can we rotate?
Yeah, so when you land, you can split off. So do think of this as a little bit of a Apex Fortnite Battle Royale.
It's along this line.
That is the line that Horizon's going to be traveling on. You can split off if you want to.
Use the old parachute maneuvering.
Parachutes, yeah. For the benefit of podcast listeners, by the way, I'm going to put this map for everyone on Patreon if you want to go see that. High Rollers Patreon. Support us now.
If for podcast listeners, the way to describe it is the peninsula has been divided down into gridded sections, and each one of those gridded sections has, key objectives. Like there's all the forests, there's the hills, there are a number of buildings, watchtowers. The flags, those of you who can see the map, the flags indicate. Rain says these indicate areas where we know that a ground assault is happening, where the Sanzian Commonwealth is attacking and fighting rebel forces. These wagon markers indicate artillery, Magitech cannons that have extremely long range. We suspect that they will attack Horizon. They will be attacking anything that departs the city. These potentially will attack you when you try and leave.
What square
There's
on
also
this
a
map?
number of ruins.
What square on this map is the square where Nova blew up the Storm Chaser? Remember that?
That would be further to the south. That'd be maybe around sort of like the middle-ish area, sort of maybe to the lower middle, further down. You guys can zoom out as well. If you can't see the whole map, feel free to zoom out. So
you blew up plenty of people. We don't need it again.
So all these trade wagons.
Looks like you
down
might
here at the
do.
bottom.
So those are they may look like trade wagon sentry, but those are actually Magitech artillery. It's almost like software. These are the
bad
closest
news.
approximation I could find for them.
They're bad news.
They're like mobile. Some of the Magitech weapons. They're all Valkyrian Magitech basically.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are being used to not just attack. They are being used to like artillery bomb this rebel force. The little encampment you can see in the middle of the map is where you met them previously, and you can see that there has been like a hasty fortification erected in this choke point, this valley that leads into the City of Glass. The trees, the forests on the outskirts are extremely thick and rugged. The hills designate areas which it's not just like one hill, it's a very mountainous, hilly, rugged terrain. Each of these squares on the map is about 2 miles, by the way.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
God,
Yeah.
okay.
So keep in mind, like a parachuter, if you drift quite far, like if you got knocked off course, a small change up in the air means you're going to land very far away from the ground, basically.
Yeah.
You've got a system, haven't you? You do.
Look at him! Of course he's right. It's going to be a little Mark Hume's special skill challenge where
this is incredible.
Everyone ends up like boop, 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 all over the map.
Did you not see his tweet earlier? I knew this was coming.
Oh yeah. We just didn't know which part it pertained to. Clearly it's the jump.
Yeah.
So a couple of little things, because I know you guys talked about it. Obviously, Quill can fly. He has a flying speed. You can use the fly spell. If you just try and fly 2,000 feet down, you're going to have a lot of attacks thrown your way with these people trying to like shoot you out the eye. So what you'd probably be better off doing is dropping and falling at a high rate, not using your fly speed,
that's what I was
and
thinking.
then activating it at the last minute. However, to do that, you're basically going to be at the ground level when you activate your fly speed. So you're going to land in a square, which is 2 miles, roughly size-wise.
What if we were invisible while we flew? Can't shoot us.
If you're invisible, that may very well help. That may very well prevent you being attacked. You don't know if these weapons have the ability to detect invisible creatures, but it certainly would help.
No, they're magiflak cannons. It's going to blow us out the sky.
Heat signatures.
Well, they kind of are. Yes, some of them are anti-airship weaponry.
No.
Right.
This is cool.
So there's a lot of anti-air weaponry to the south, but in the City of Glass itself, is there any sort of weaponry or defenses?
There are airships. There is a fleet of airships flying around. You can kind of see them on the map. That doesn't represent all of them. I've only put a couple there, but those airships have air-to-ground weaponry. They have arcane cannons. They have people on board with small arms. All of them will be able to shoot as well. There is no safe place.
Guns.
Okay.
Were you laughing
at
people
with small arms on board?
Very good. Very good
Little
joke.
T-Rex
Ha, ha,
arms.
ha.
I hate that.
Hilarious.
Anyway,
Right.
I imagine while we're planning all this out, we're kind of in the map room of Horizon. Danica's just kind of blasting in the corner, keeping this thing afloat. Or are we in a different room from Danica?
Well, Danica, you don't know where Danica is. You've not seen the. Right. Actually, no, that's not correct. It's up on the top of the city. There were these like golden things that she was holding onto and channeling fire down. This command chamber is inside the actual citadel itself. This is probably where you once had meetings about the summit, the leaders' summit. It would be closer to that. And yeah, there's like a little projected illusory map that Rain has some limited control over, and this map is sort of projected there.
Lucius will say, in regards to providing air support, I know us taking the decision to go in is going to reduce Horizon's chances of having extra help with the airships. Storm Chaser, and therefore Thalia, is it worth us sending a message to them so that as soon as they get in range, we can kind of tell them the intel that we have here, and they can coordinate an attack with Horizon?
Yeah, they should be able to protect Horizon a bit. Horizon needs a little bit of help.
They're a few days out, as far as I'm aware.
Thalia isn't bringing the Twin Star as a point. It's just the Storm Chaser. Twin Star is still in Gus Techman.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kim.
You still can't fly. No, I was just going to say, like, I was under the impression that the Storm Chaser was still a few days out. So unless we're here a few days, they're not an option.
You don't know exactly how delayed it is. It was delayed, mysteriously delayed.
It's definitely worth communicating.
So Araya,
It's definitely worth communicating, and I don't mind talking to Thalia again.
We'll leave that with you then, Nova. You can send the message.
I haven't spoken to her like for 12 hours.
Quill. And then Quill, you can let me know, as captain, of course, everything they say. Anyway.
I will.
Focusing on the task at hand, does anyone have any ideas? I know free falling is probably our best option in terms of not getting hit out of the sky.
Sentry's really good at falling. Sentry, any tips?
I'm very good. Gravity
You're
is a
great
very
at
good
it.
friend of mine.
If you do not wish to fall, I have some options I can provide. We do have a skiff. We have a sky skiff that you could use. Obviously, it will be slower than you free falling. However, it would afford you some element of protection or at least defense against being attacked. It will require it will require a pilot, somebody who understands air vehicles to pilot. Captain Lucius, I'm sure that your experience with your own airship would be sufficient, as well as a navigator, somebody to help guide the ship to make sure that you're not drifting off your intended landing zone. The rest of you, I'm sure there will be tasks that you could help with aboard a sky skiff. The other option is, if you do not wish to use your own spells, I can provide you with wind shoots. These are things that we sometimes use for troops here in Horizon. They will allow you can deploy them manually when you get closer to the ground, and they will slow your descent quite rapidly, rather than relying on magic. I remember you saying something that there was some problems with communication with the individuals in the City of Glass. If there's a possibility that this may disrupt magic, I would be afraid of things like flying spells becoming disrupted if you were to approach into those areas.
That's a very good point. I didn't think of that.
I don't know if that is the case. You mentioned that your communication was having difficulties. To my best knowledge, the only thing I can think of is that the City of Glass has some sort of effect on magical spells. The wind shoots are purely mechanical. However, again, if they suffer great damage or anything like that, they could be destroyed.
Would we be able to fit these wings inside a sky skiff as like a secondary option if we were to bail on the sky skiff?
Yes, you could most certainly certainly equip them each. They're roughly about the size of a backpack, a traveling backpack.
Go on the skiff with the backpacks, and then last ditch, there's some people here who can be magic, and I'm not one of them. So, you know.
It seems that you have
maybe we got
suitable,
three points there. There's some backups at least. Like
yes,
skiff if that goes down, backpacks if that goes down, spells.
Question is,
somebody please save me if I start to fall.
We'll do our best.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll try.
I'll try. Yeah.
I think
gravity's not my friend, Sentry. Not a fan.
Yes.
Oh, that reminds me. We need to make sure we remove our featherfall tokens. They'll activate regardless.
Yes.
We don't want to fall
as
to the
you begin to
ground
fall.
extremely slowly.
That would be.
I'd prefer that than
bad.
extremely fast.
So definitely remove
Not
those.
that I have one.
If you were to descend at a featherfall token is designed almost as a way for us to rescue somebody who falls off of the sky cities. They descend you at an incredibly slow rate as soon as you begin to fall. If these weapons spot you, they will have ample opportunity to kill you in midair.
Yes.
You
I
would
don't
be a
have
sitting
No
duck.
featherfall. No
Here's
featherfall.
I don't have
mine.
one.
I hand it over.
I can keep these for you here if you wish. I can
Leave
keep
it
them
on the
I
table.
think we gave Sentry 3 or
Thank you,
4.
yeah. I've got loads.
She's got all of them.
just like,
What can I
featherfalls
hold
and
all these
featherfall
featherfall tokens?
I attached one to each limb.
Now, in terms of us actually choosing a point as best we can of where to land, my personal opinion would be the fortification outside of the City of Glass, where this bottleneck is. It seems like that's where they would amass some sort of force to stop any infiltration, and we can get intel on the front lines there and maybe help provide assistance. Any thoughts?
I do worry about these giant cannons as well, because if we want to escape or back up from or air support, they are firing up at any airships and well, they could fire at us, and I don't really fancy taking one of those to the face.
You want us to...
Certainly, if you were able to destroy any of these Magitech weapons, these platforms, we've counted about 5 or 6 of them. If you were able to destroy them, you would be greatly benefiting Horizon as well. These things are capable of shooting miles in range. They will no doubt attack Horizon as soon as we present ourselves as a threat.
How about we try and stay together, get to that fortification, see if there's anyone that can come with us on mission destroy artillery.
Well,
That would also be...
I don't want to say we jump into the thick of it, Lucius, but if we drop into the fortification, we'll have to cross the battlefield to get to the artillery.
Not
What if
necessarily.
we drop directly on top of the artillery?
And took
Well-
control of them.
Well,
Quick
no,
little
I
smash.
meant destroy, but
Yeah, could be fun.
I'm not sure if it's range of motion of each of those things, but I'm sure being as close as possible to them whilst we're falling out of the sky means that we are painting quite a big target on us.
It will be more dangerous, yes.
Whereas approaching on the ground be a bit more stealthy.
I don't think stealth will be an option. As I said, we'll be going through battlefields to get to them. But in terms of range of motion, it's hard to shoot something that's directly above you and spiraling down towards you than something that is a spot in the distance, if you know what I mean.
True. We could certainly try that. Anyone like that idea?
I hate the idea, but I have said it.
I don't like any of them because all of them involve falling, but I do like the idea of smashing up really heavy machinery, I have to say.
Or firing one.
I assume this map is an approximation, but
it is an approximation, yes. It is an approximation, yes. We've tried to map out key locations that we can see. The scouts that my scout ships saw in their brief analysis of the battlefield. Things may have changed since that time. This was several hours ago. We've identified a few ruins, what appear to be perhaps old stores or old defense towers for the City of Glass. Some hastily built fortifications and guard towers. Craters litter the sort of central area from these artillery bombardments, creating very difficult, rugged sort of terrains to cross over. And then the City of Glass itself it's the buildings there are numerous. The tall spires made entirely from glass, several of them broken and shattered. Trying to move through that area is razor sharp. It would be extremely difficult. There's definitely some evidence of fighting in the City of Glass. We've seen flashes of light, perhaps from spells, but it is difficult to determine the exact numbers.
Right. The only other issue I have here, Quill, with your idea is we would be jumping off very far north of the artillery and aiming for them before we're able to get on top of them. That makes sense. Because this is the route of Horizon. So we are going directly at them. On
what our strategy here is. We land and immediately go into the City of Glass. Do we try and turn the tide of the battle? We need to decide which one's which. In terms of turning the tide, we have to destroy the artillery. And jumping in from above, behind enemy lines, that's the best way to do it.
We can't jump from above. That's the issue I'm seeing. It's from above directly towards them at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah. It was like a six-mile flight as well.
You will be. Well, if you are falling, if you're descending at a fast rate or in the skiff, it won't be as long. You will be able to progress quite quickly. But these weapons will be able to attack you. I do not believe that they have a blind spot that you will be able to avoid. They've been positioned in a way that they can cover each other as well. The others will simply turn to fire on any immediate threats.
Now, what we know
there is also the fact that Harold is clearly struggling right now, and can we afford to take out heavy machinery and wait to go and help them?
Well, I mean, you go. My idea's bad.
Okay. All ideas are good ideas. It's just the ones that we enact upon that could become bad. My brain. I shouldn't have said that.
You can do it. No, I believe in you.
Help.
You can do it.
Have a little thinking.
Lucius, you're okay.
This is very stressful. How about we head to the fortification? There is almost certainly an army amassing there to hold the front lines into the City of Glass. If we could split forces, say we decide to go into the City of Glass to help Herald, we could at least amass a force to sabotage the artillery whilst we're doing the City of Glass.
Agreed. I think that's the best option.
Sounds good.
Nova says it's best.
Okay, and what's the plan for extraction after that? Getting out of there.
What's the capacity of the skiff? How many people can we fit on it?
5, 6 perhaps. You may be able to take one person with you, but they're not built for large teams. We're talking more of a sort of... it has no weapons. It has shielding, it has armor, but in terms of offensive abilities, none. But it's mainly used to ferry people down to cities, villages, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those in
And as a
favour,
storm
Quill?
chaser.
It's your bad idea. Let's let it all out now. All options on the
Storm
table.
Chaser is a delayed extraction method, potentially.
Yes.
But it might
have to hold out.
I mean,
Potentially days.
maybe we can... Nova, you have a portal thing that you know
Within
you're really
500
good at
foot,
it.
though.
Teleportation
Within
circle.
500 foot.
There has to be one on Horizon. We
My
just need the
brain can't
codes.
There
compute
is.
that,
You've
Nova.
used the teleportation circle here on Horizon. I believe that was my understanding of how you were going to transport as many back. It will take time. You will need multiple castings, but that may be something where we can send several mages once we have once we know that you are in a safe location and we have a ground area secure. We can send a mage down to help facilitate such a thing.
We'll make first contact. We'll return with our first batch, and then you can send to the next.
Of course.
Okay.
Right. What happens? Okay. Sorry, my brain is going off in all different tangents. But what if people teleport at the same time? Do they end up in each side's bodies and explode? Either way.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Right.
I think.
I'm very stressed. If you've got
I
a
can
glass
tell.
of water.
No, it's understandable. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay, so land in the fortification and head into the City of Glass.
Do we want to land directly in the fortification, though? What if
I
it's
think
been
beside
overrun?
it. I think let's use that forest to our advantage.
The closest we
Get
can.
some cover.
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps in that crater to the east of it, so that we are sheltered from fire, and we can kind of...
In regards to sheltered from fire, something made that crater, and it was fire.
Lightning never strikes twice. Right?
Okay.
Maybe the forest to the west.
Technically speaking, though, artillery
It does if
is
I'm
manned,
around.
not a factor of nature. So I think the probabilities of that saying being accurate are very low.
Right. The
It
forest...
sometimes strikes twice.
I see. The forest is
Really?
very thick, and I'm worried about landing
actually-
in trees.
Strikes
You guys
twice
can
a
con-
lot, actually.
There you go. You guys can move the little target icon wherever you like. You move it, and you decide where you want it to be.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
Oh, look, you've got little tokens we can move around on the map. Look.
Well, leave those for now. Leave your little own personal icons, because we're going to use those when you start. As a point, just so I know, the line I put in is very much a kind of like lol. It's like Fortnite lol. You will start. The square that I currently have you guys all in is the section that Rain is suggesting you depart, you leave Horizon from, and then you'll move from that space. And I've got some little rules about how you move and stuff like that, and checks you need to make.
So we can.
So you can
deviate from
really
this
place
line.
that icon wherever you want, and then you can move as you wish to.
Really, you're putting lots of tokens on the table there.
Sorry, I'm just thinking. Also, they gave me one of those things to push the token around, and it feels really cool to be like a little military commander. I've always wanted to use
Those
one
are
of these.
people's lives, Quill. Those are people's lives that are in those token forms that you just push around and ultimately decide the fates of.
No, I'm
Specifically
actually
our
I'm actually
lives.
coming up with a plan, kind of. It's
Okay, what have you got?
might be a bad plan. Okay, so this where I've put the token here. What is this building way off to the east?
We don't know. We've identified some sort of structure, but we don't know the nature of it. We don't know if it's an old ruin or perhaps something that's been converted for the purposes of this battle. There is an active battle near it. We suspect that there probably is going to be enemy forces nearby.
Okay, I mean it does put us again quite far away from the Allied armies and also away from the City of Glass, but it could be a good landing point with defenses away from the artillery for us to sneak around the back and get into the back line. Again, maybe.
One thing I'm going to remind you guys of. One thing I'm going to remind you guys of is each of those squares is 2 miles. 2 miles in terms of game movement.
Oh yeah, this will take a long time.
If you're moving at a slow pace, it's about an hour to cross each square. There will be, and I'll tell you this for free, each of those squares, there's a roll, and there may be stuff that happens in each one.
Okie dokie.
There could be encounters, there could be treasure, there could be
There's just like a trampoline park where we all safely land and have a whale of a time.
Maybe.
But you have to pick the right square.
Quill, now that you're looking at this map, that statue surrounded by, it looks almost like a forest-like glade. There's something,
right?
I don't know. There's something about it where you're like, why does that ring a bell? Like, what is that making me think about?
Oh my god! Oh my god! No way!
Yeah, you never had a full map of Gisela like this before.
I've had this scroll since the beginning of the game, since Aerois started. And I found it next to Sentry actually. And so the knight and his squire were laid to rest in a tomb, a day's pilgrimage from the City of Glass. The lance they had used to defend our world stood between them. It's a treasure. It's a treasure. I had a treasure note this entire time, and there it is.
Cool.
Let's land there. Hey guys, I've got a really good idea. I want to land there.
No, that's completely. I mean, sure, it's been very difficult to land in this clearing of trees. There's a statue. We could hit the statue and cause all sorts of damage. What's the strategic advantage here?
Strategic advantage is we drop early. We are quite far away still from the things that can shoot us. It's in a glade, which is surrounded by trees. So once we get to a certain level, we'll be basically invisible. And also, treasure map.
What?
So you want to go treasure hunting?
In the middle of an active battlefield.
While people are dying.
Where people are, yeah. We're trying to save an entire race.
It also gets us into the back lines of this thing. I really think we need to destroy... Look, there's a battles happening right now, and they have heavy weaponry, and the moment we can turn the battle by destroying that heavy weaponry, I think...
Quill, did you just change the plan to get treasure back to the idea?
No, I changed the plan to move us into a very strategic dropping location, which is surrounded by trees in a nice glade that also happens to...
Is it worthwhile?
Is the treasure getting out alive and with everybody we care about? Because that would be nice.
Yeah.
The treasure is the friends we made along the way. It's a lance. It's a lance.
A lance of saving everyone we care about.
Maybe. Look,
like the fire lance on Sentry's arm?
Either way, I know this is far away from... Look, it is a strategic place to land, and I think we would turn the battle by destroying... I don't think they have many opportunities to get across the battlefield, our allied armies, to destroy these machines. We do.
2, 4, 6...
Like, we should take that opportunity, surely.
The opportunity...
How many times can they shoot at us whilst we run toward them in a 2-mile... distance?
Well, if you're on the ground, it would be harder to hit smaller targets. Up in the air, they can kind of just target around you, and if they're explosive, they'll... Yeah. But on the ground, Rain will tell you that on the ground, these weapons won't be as effective at close range. On the ground. When you're up in the air...
there's hills. There's hills that separate the weapons to where we would be landing in this glade. They wouldn't be able to shoot through that. Also... I've had this for 3 years.
We need to consider...
It's probably 3 years outdated then.
I love it.
It's probably going to be something we really, really don't need now.
Well,
the treasure has already been funded.
I'm going to defend, because I saw people in chat mention this as well. Keep in mind, Quill had this from session 1. You guys had no way of getting to this continent in session 1.
Oh.
Maybe.
Still people dying, though.
It's part of Hesper's master plan.
He's doing it on a hunch.
That depends.
Maybe
so,
we head there
Rain says, my friends, we are quickly approaching the point where you'll need to depart Horizon. I can have the skiff prepared for you. You must pick a landing point. You must pick a landing point so we know how to coordinate our efforts and to deploy.
I think we've all...
How's your eye, Quill?
How is my eye? That's a good question.
Out of juice?
I can use it a couple of times, maybe 3. We'll go for 2. I have 2 charges left. Why?
Maybe
just fighting a giant battle and trying to save everyone we love.
Okay, do I want to find out... how on board is everyone with Quill plan number 1? 2, because my first plan was bad. Quill plan number 2, dropping into this place and actually going into the back lines. It's a fortified, strategic, naturally strategic location.
So what if they're holed up there?
And also,
what if the
maybe
opposing army are holed up there? Because, like you said, it's a secured fortification. So what if the army have based their operations there?
Then we land directly on top of the stealthy side units that would turn the tide of the battle, and we win.
Rain will point out that the base of operations, there is a kind of camp to the very far south in the mountain range. That appears to be where the Sansian Commonwealth's forces are stationed. The artillery occupies like significant forces, as do the flags. Anywhere else, if you encounter any forces, they'll be scouting units. They won't be substantial fortified enemy.
Look, let's pretend I didn't bring out a treasure scroll and my desire to land in this place purely for treasure. I genuinely believe that it is a good place to land. It's stealthy, it's hidden, it's an entire hill range behind where these weapons could shoot at us. So we could actually head towards them from a distance pretty effectively, and also get up close to these machines and destroy them and actually help this battle instead of joining it as infantry.
Well, not just infantry.
I think...
Also, we need to understand the greater impact we could potentially have. We're also disregarding the time it's going to take us to get from the artillery back to Herald. We're sacrificing something here by going with your plan.
It'd be time.
I think that's the thing we need to think about. What are we aiming for here? If we're doing it for the greater good, then yes, we take out the artillery because that means we can have air support, Horizon will be safer, whoever is defending will be safer from the artillery. However, it does mean we are sacrificing valuable time to help Herald, specifically Herald.
I think Sentry needs to make that. Sentry, it's your people. What do you think?
I'm sorry, Quill, but time is on our side. It would take a day, probably, to take out the artillery and get into the City of Glass. It's a long way. You don't have time.
Okay, then plan A. We'll plan 2. Pin it. What's
I still believe
plan?
We should try.
Why don't we see what happens down there?
That's what I'm hoping, is that there's going to be a defense of some kind at the fortification. If we can corral them and organize them to sabotage the artillery while we make our move on the City of Glass, we might be able to do both. Or at least make it some form of impact on both sides at the same time.
I am just wary that we are landing into a group of scared and terrified soldiers, and us landing there and saying, you can do it, isn't going to change the battle.
They're going to be stuck.
I think you forget that we look really cool. Or we faceplant the ground and look terrible. It's a 50-50, let's be honest.
They're there and they're scared and they need Sentry.
Okay.
Sentinel Prime's got power. She's inspiring.
Cool. All right. Rain will, you see, like, he kind of holds a hand up to one of his ears. He's just like, very well. You need to come with me, my friends. We must get you to the skiff on one of the airship docks now. Horizon's coming into weapons range. We need to get you off the city before we fully engage the airship fleet. And yeah, unless there's any other real quick last minute things. Rain is going to rush you over to one of the airship docks and get you loaded into a small. Honestly, it's the airship equivalent of a rowboat. It has, just two very small sails with a number of ropes, a number of lines, skylines that kind of connect it to a single, very low-powered Ethereum engine. It is kind of sloop-shaped, long and thin. It has a small prow, no weaponry, but it does have quite armored sides. Like the sides are all reinforced wood and metal, with a tiller to navigate and a basic wheel. Lucius, looking at this, you can pilot it, and in fact, I don't think anybody else has air vehicle proficiency. I think you're the only one who has been trained to fly an airship now, because you learnt from Araya for the Storm Chaser.
I glanced. Yeah.
You spent weeks while it was being built. You spent time learning. We gave you that proficiency. So you are the only one who can actually fly this thing. Nova, the engine, if there are any problems, it will need an engineer to try and potentially repair any mishaps or things like that. Sentry and Ayla, certainly people to help man the sails and adjust them would be useful, but also if something does go wrong, Nova may need your help in repairing things. You may also want to do your own stuff, like if enemies, like flying enemies or something weird happens, you may want to keep yourselves free. And Quill, I'm assuming that you would probably want to take on the role of navigator, which is the person who needs to basically keep the skiff on track to go where you want it to, because you're going to constantly be, going against wind
and
currents.
suddenly we end up at the treasure. Oh. No.
I tried to get us there, but the wind currents.
Oh, weird. Sorry, guys.
This is a thing. Jokes aside, Quill, the others won't know.
I genuinely think my plan would work.
Right. Well, so loading up into the skiff, you take your positions. Lucius at the helm. Quill is in the position of navigator. Sentry and Ayla on either side, ready to adjust and help as necessary. And then Nova stationed by the engine. When the skiff is kind of suspended by these big leather straps hovering over a pair of wooden and metal doors, almost like barn doors, but on the bottom of this hollowed out shell of a room that's built into the bottom of the airship towers in Horizon. You can see a number of Horizon guards, some of them in actual armor, but some of them looking more like engineers, are running about the place, calling orders, shouting to each other. And then there is kind of magical spheres built into the walls that begin to rotate and flash. The doors slowly begin to open on chains. You kind of hear as the chains open. And when they fully do, the sound of outside can finally be heard. You hear explosions, the sizzling and bursting of air as weapons fire begins to emerge. You can hear the charging arcane energies of Horizon's own turrets, as well as the barrages from multiple airships impacting into Horizon's walls. You begin to hear shouting and crying and orders kind of all floating through the air. And looking down, the peninsula of Gisela is no different. Thick plumes of smoke from battlefields. You can see explosions landing in the ground, but now also arcs of energy firing upwards towards Horizon from down below. And with a simple kind of like order of like release, the air skiff drops and it begins to descend at a rapid rate. Mechanically, let's go over some rules. You guys are currently in the skiff. One player must be the pilot. That will be Lucius. The pilot will be responsible for taking certain actions and basically deciding what the skiff does. One player must be the navigator to basically guide the ship in. And then the rest of the positions, the engineer, and then 2 free slots are basically however you guys want to split these up.
Morale officer.
The skiff will move at 1 square per turn. Each turn, the navigator must make a perception check to guide the sky skiff, and you get to pick the square it moves into. The skiff cannot move backwards. You must either move it forwards or to the sides. You cannot go back. So once you start going into a place, you basically have to slowly turn around, basically. So imagine you've kind of got like turns that you can take.
How many tiles, or how many turns, I guess, until we basically land?
Well, that's your movement. So, you move, and it's 5 turns in the Skysif plus 1d3. So the Skysif is quite slow. If you were falling, if you were to just jump out, it's much, much faster.
Okay.
So,
I was just wary of overshooting the actual target.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do we have the backpacks from them as well?
Yep. So those require an action to deploy. So you will actually have to kind of, on your turn, release the thing when you are traveling in the air. All right. So we're not going to take an initiative right now because you guys are just basically progressing. We'll start this off by having Navigator Quill has to make a perception check. In terms of other things that you guys can do, actually, before you make that check, Quill, I've written up a bunch of mechanics and I didn't put them into a place that I could share with you. So I'll go through it all fully. Any single player can use their action to adjust the sails to match course or avoid enemy fire. You have to make a strength or dexterity check. Straight strength, straight dexterity, no skills or anything like that. If you succeed, you give advantage to either the navigator or the pilot. You choose one. On a failure, it's disadvantage to one of those things, right?
Oh, okay.
The engine, if there are any mishaps from damage, Nova, you've kind of experienced this with the Storm Chaser before, then you'll basically have an opportunity to try and fix those as an action on your turn. The pilot, Lucius, you can either choose to be evasive, which is you spend an action to try and move the skiff erratically to avoid enemy attacks. You have to make a vehicle check, which for you would be just a d20 plus your either dexterity or intelligence
stat.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Perfect. So you use that.
Yeah.
So you make a check with that. On a success, any attacks against you would have disadvantage against the skiff, and you'd have advantage on dex saving throws. On a failure, the skiff will drift. And drifting is something I'm going to come to in a moment. You could also, any player aboard the skiff can use their action to brace for impact. The character takes no damage from the skiff's threshold being exceeded, and it has, and you have advantage on strength and dexterity saving throws until the start of your next turn. So that is if the skiff takes damage over its threshold, any excess damage, the skiff takes it, and all of you take the excess damage as well. So you'll basically be taking chips of damage as the ship gets hit by weapons fire and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys can take in order, however you guys want to take the order of these actions. And then basically I will roll for a random event in my combat drop events.
Oh my god, okay. Could I, if I'm assuming I'm close to Lucius at all times, can I just like chain guidance him? It's an action to do. So
no, because your action is to do the navigation. So
I see. Okay, all right, fair enough. Sweet. Shall I do my perception now?
Yeah, if you want to.
All right. We're plus 11. Oh my god, 16. Okay.
16. Okay. Immediately out of the skiff, as it drops Quill, you realize actually this isn't going to be as easy as you thought it was. There are thick plumes of smoke coming up from the multiple battlefields. The winds are constantly rocking the skiff around, and this isn't like flying with your own wings. Trying to judge the distances is exceptionally difficult here. This is going to cause you to drift. You failed on the navigation. This is going to cause the skiff to drift. Because you are all together in the skiff, you drift as one. If you are all falling individually, you track your own individual drifts. Man. So in the skiff, it means that you're all still together.
Cool.
So when a drift occurs, I need, first of all, Tom Hazel, I need you to roll a d8 to determine the direction of the drift.
D8.
Even just accidentally end up where Tommy wanted us to be.
5. I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4,
5 o'clock.
5. You are going
is
south.
Towards. Yay!
So, drifting. If you fail the navigation check, you drift a number of squares equal to your descending rate, which is 1. So immediately the skiff begins veering off, and you are currently
closer
also
to the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that.
You are also currently... So I've put this arrow here, Tom, to indicate the direction you're currently facing, so you know you can't go backwards. So you can't cause the ship to go the opposite way the arrow is pointing. You can make it go left, right, or...
I'm guessing backwards also doesn't mean like northwest.
Yeah, you can either go hard right or hard left, or southeast southwest kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Whoop.
Yeah. Like a 45-degree arc.
Always going forward because you can't find reverse.
Yeah, basically. So Quill is trying to guide Lucius, and Lucius, you're listening to Quill's commands, but this is a lot tougher, and immediately the skiff is kind of pulled to the south and begins heading that way. What about the rest of you? Kind of thinking this in that you don't need to worry about your movement, but you still have your action and bonus action. Any of these specific orders, like the navigation, the piloting, is all specifically in action.
Can I make a strength check to try and give Lucius advantage on piloting?
Yep, so you can start working the sails, Ayla, so you're starting to like pull the sails in and like wrap them up and stuff like that. And this is just straight strength, so D20 plus strength, that's it.
21.
21, okay. Lucius, Ayla, as you're kind of like calling out things, Ayla is quickly pulling the ropes in and guiding the sails to where you need them to be. If you have to make any piloting checks, you will have advantage on them this turn. Or if there's like, if you have to make a saving throw, for example, that might also involve that as well.
This is way harder than I imagined. There's so much noise. Quill, are we heading in the right direction? Which way should I
Got
turn?
it, Lucius! You got it, it's fine!
Turn left, port. Airport.
Okay. You're trying to, but it's gonna, that's the navigator's already gone this round.
Hold on. Trot to Tom here.
Yeah.
We've gone from horizon, right?
Yeah.
Facing south.
South, yeah.
And you're telling me to go away from the island of Giselle.
When I did port, I meant the other one.
Starboard.
I messed up my left and right.
Brilliant.
This is why he failed the navigation check. Yeah.
I know that left is port, and I still just said the wrong direction. I meant right.
What does Quill say?
I say starboard.
Brilliant.
Starboard.
I slam on the. What is the device that I'm holding? Is it a wheel?
It's
is
like
it
a wheel.
stick?
It's like a rudimentary. It's like a rudimentary wheel. It's not as. It doesn't have as many spokes as the airship one, but it's kind of similar. You don't need to make a check, Trot, because like Tom's already done the guidance for this. Okay. The main thing for you is you have your action. You can still cast spells. You can still do all the stuff that Lucius can normally do, or if you want to do something more unique. You can see that the skiff is gonna be fired upon. You can see that there are artillery, down on the ground, and you can see arcs of fire coming away. You can either choose to use your action to do something else, or you can choose to be evasive with the air skiff. So Quill's set you on your path. You can't change where you're going now. You've already drifted. But if you wanted to try and do something else, you can do that on your turn.
I think Lucius would be panicking and would be trying to actively evade.
Sure. Okay.
Incoming fire. So he's going to do evasion.
So that's when you would make the air vehicle check, which you got a 17 on, and you have advantage because Ada gave you that.
So I'll roll it again. Oh, 24.
24. Oh. Okay. So yeah, Lucius kind of twists the air skiff to the side, like banking it hard and turning its body to try and like deflect these attacks. All attacks against you are going to have disadvantage, and you have advantage on dex, or the skiff has advantage on dex saving throws until the start of your next turn, right? So any attacks against you from random events and stuff.
That could have gone bad.
Nova and Sentry, you guys have your own actions as well. So like if you want to cast any of your spells, if you want to use any of your skills in a creative way, you can still do all that stuff. You don't have to just do this airship stuff. Okay. Tom's the only one who has a must-do action. He must use his action to guide the skiff. Technically, any of you could do it, but Quill's probably the best one to do it for the time being.
Do I have bonus actions?
Yeah, you have bonus actions, yeah, so you can use your bonus action if you'd like.
Okay, no, that's cool. I haven't got anything, I was just wondering.
Nova Sentry.
I was thinking that for now, I'm just going to hold my action that if something happens in the engine room, I'm ready to fix it. So if we get hit and it damages the engine.
Also, there's no engine room. The engine is in the middle of like a rowing boat. Like it's all open topped, and you're just like hovering over this like basic, very small Ethereum engine. That's it. There's no.
In which case, I'm tutting. I am tutting hard at this flimsy ass design. I could do better in my head.
They can't put a whole
I'm already
room.
thinking of some better designs in my head. But like 95% of me is hovering, getting ready to deal with any any damage to the engine.
Yeah, it's like a little outboard motor on like a little speedboat, like it's basically one of those. Yeah, it's the Ethereum
Got a
equivalent.
little wrench out.
Right. Sentry, is there anything you want to use your action or bonus actions for?
I think Sentry's gonna try and be a calming presence in this little chaotic boat. So I'm gonna cast a Bless at level 4, so everybody gets a +4 to saving throws.
And ability checks.
Yeah,
Or is
like
it
to
just
say, we can do this! You can do it, come on! Yeah, just try and be encouraging.
Okay. Cool.
Does that count
Cool.
for ability check?
Yeah, I can't remember if Bless is ability check.
It's attack
I've got my dice.
roll, attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay. They might come up. Still works. Still good.
Which creatures get it?
Everybody gets one.
All us
Everybody
creatures.
gets a bless.
Everyone gets a bless. You get a bless. You get a bless.
You get a bless.
You literally
Now-
are the morale officer.
This
Just
is
doing my job.
probably not the rules, but my alternator gauntlet can capture incoming energy, right? But only
Yes.
if I can see the creature casting the spell within 60 feet. Is what it
I
says.
believe it has to be acid or cold energy.
Yeah. So I'll probably veto that one. However, can I hold an action to absorb
You've
elements?
used your action.
Oh, so that is I don't get an extra.
Well, absorb elements is a reaction.
Maybe.
I would like to react with that one if possible. If
What are you reacting to, Chris Trott?
when it happens.
When it happens, I see. Well, let's wait and see what happens, and then you
Let's
can
see what
decide.
happens. We're just
Let's see
thinking
what
about
happens.
it, though. Just thinking
Yeah,
about it.
that's great. I'm glad you're thinking about it. So I rolled on my little random table, and I got the result: all-out barrage. Enemy artillery targets the party with a full barrage. This would normally as you are in the skiff.
Can I use my bonus action to preemptively rage?
Yeah, sure.
Technically, if I can see it coming, we can be
sure,
like, no.
It doesn't really help in this scenario, but we'll see.
Just roar the ballista away.
I'm going to attack the skiff 3 times, so 3 big artillery blasts kind of rock the skiff and I get an impact. This is actually the worst result I could have rolled.
Don't rock the skiff, baby.
Rock the skiff, baby. As a note, so for the skiff, I'm kind of using like a mixture of stats here. I'm using a little bit of keelboat stats, and I'm also using the Descent into Avernus damage threshold.
Cool.
So the skiff has an AC of 15. It has 100 hit points and a damage threshold of 10. So any damage 10 or under, it ignores. It just doesn't take that damage. Any damage over 10 it takes.
Right.
If there is more than 20 damage, you get a mishap. So that's when I roll on the mishap table.
From each cumulative hit, right? Not total.
Each cumulative hit. The sails have their own hit points and AC, and I'm going to basically roll to see which part of the ship I'm hitting. So you've got the helm, the sails, and then the hull, basically, and engine. Sorry. So I'm going to roll a d4. We're going to say 1 for the hull, 2 for the. These things are shooting. They don't seem to care that you're far away. These things seem to hit you at an extreme range.
Hoping that helps.
So 1 for the hull, 2 for the helm, 3 for the sails, and 4 for the engine. Each different part has its own separate hit points and AC. The engine has an AC of 15 and 50 hit points. The sails have an AC of 12 and 100 hit points. The helm has an AC of 12 and 50 hit points. And the hull has an AC of 15 and 100 hit points, like I said.
Okay.
So this first blast is going to hit the hull. Let's just see if it hits as well. So I have disadvantage on the attack roll.
What is this? What is this? It's hitting. Is it like a projectile?
It is like a giant beam of purple force energy. It is like a laser cannon, kind of like that kind of tracks through the air.
Nice.
I'm going to give it has disadvantage because of Lucius's quick flying, and these beams
bugger.
Yeah, unfortunately. These beams do seem that they are not as accurate. They seem like if these hit, these will do a ton of damage, but they aren't as accurate as some of the other weapons would be. That is going to be a 14 on the first one. So Lucius manages to bank the skiff, and this beam just kind of sails overhead. The second one with disadvantage. That, however, I think is going to hit. That is a 17.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Any reactions or anything people want to use?
I mean,
I was going to absorb elements if it was like lightning or something like that, but
this is
force.
force damage.
Yeah. Can't do much.
Yep.
All right, in that case, first big hit coming your
Let's
way.
see how much damage these things actually do.
Yeah.
So it'd be 22 points of damage from this big.
Oh,
like I said,
that's a mishap.
These big cannons hit hard. So 22 points of damage to the hull. So if somebody could keep a track of that, so it had 100, you just took 22. Because it's over its damage threshold, each of you are also going to take 12 points of force damage as this beam rakes the longbow. Because it's open topped, you're all kind of like throwing your arms up and you're like, oh, fuck, getting kind of like scorch marks and laser fire kind of over you. And then I'm going to roll on the mishap table.
Woo! Oh, I thought the 12 damage each was the mishap.
No, that's just whenever, because this is open topped, right? If you guys get hit by an explosion, for example, you like the ship can only absorb so much damage for you, so it's going to kind of like take some of it.
So would brace for impact have negated that or lessened it?
It would have, yeah, for you guys, if you'd taken the brace action, yes, you would have been able to do that. But unfortunately, Quill, you basically either have to choose to navigate. Well, you could not navigate, but you just drift automatically if you do that, if you're not keeping the ship on target. Right, so this laser fire, it basically tears a huge chunk out of the hull. This is shredded armor. The vehicle's damage threshold is reduced by 10 until this is repaired. There are things like wooden planks that you can basically use to repair it. It will be a strength check to repair, Nova. So you can either basically do that yourself, or you can have somebody else do it for you, basically.
Damn.
I
It'll be on your turn.
specifically said
Oh, you were holding your action.
I think I said my action, but I think it was specifically for the engine being damaged, so I don't think I can do anything.
No, we'll say that kind of mishap. If you wanted to take an action, you can try and start working on this now. But I think it would have to be you trying to fix this rather than Ayla or Sentry.
I'll have to try.
Might as well give it a go.
May as well try.
Strength -2, but with a little blessy, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
I rolled a 3. -2 is 1 plus 1 from the bless, so that's back up to a whole 2.
So you start trying to like lift the boards over and like you start trying to like kind of patch the hull, but yeah, like it's just too heavy. It kind of stumbles all in your arms. You're being rocked around. It's more the environment, right? Like you just can't quite get your own footing and a stable grip.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
you're just not in a place to do it.
Definitely didn't skip one day. Didn't
Okay.
forget to
Sorry
do all
that
the
this is a-
exercises Ayla made me do.
This is a bit hectic. I was writing this up today, so it's a little bit hectic. Okay,
No,
so
this is awesome.
that was the event. So we go back up to the top. So again, right, you guys all get a turn basically. Like you can decide who goes when and who does what, but same thing. Tom, the only thing is for you have to decide if you're going to navigate or if you're going to do something else. Otherwise you'll
I'm going
automatically
to
drift.
consistently navigate, I think.
Okay. You can wait if you want to wait for someone to help you. You can wait.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Sure.
So, what do you guys want to do? If you're helping Lucius, then I'll navigate now. I guess I may as well.
Lucius is looking at Quill for the direction and is ready to turn. So he's basically in the chain. He's waiting for Quill.
Yeah, fair
to
enough.
do his turn.
We'll go last, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Right. Nova, Sentry, Ayla.
Do you want to get the damage or do you want me to get it? Sentry.
Calm conversation.
Either.
Oh, sorry, that's right. There was a third attack I forgot about. Thank you, Christian.
No, we've moved on. We've moved on.
None of you have taken a turn yet. Luckily,
concentration
I rolled. It was a 4. It was a 10 total. So
Yay.
Great.
missed.
Great.
Thanks,
chat. What are you, me?
So who wants to do what? Sentry, Ayla, over.
Maybe
I'm gonna
Ayla should
hold
go
my-
fix it because Ayla's good at strength.
I'll make a strength
Ayla's
check
definitely the
to
strongest.
She's the
fix
strongest.
the damage. I rolled a natural 20. Plus 7.
There we go.
27.
27.
Fix it!
Easily done. Even without like the knowledge of carpentry, like you're not a carpenter, but you know well enough like heavy planks help. And so you just
If you
start
hit it
whacking
hard
your
enough
hammer.
with a hammer,
Yeah.
you're
and you
good.
just start embedding these planks and also metal plates. Like there are these big steel rivets and chunks of metal plates. And with your giant hammer, you're smashing these armored plates into the side to kind of patch repair the hull as you go, in case you get another one of those blasts like that. But yeah, so Ayla's action was to repair. That repair is done. Your damage threshold is back to 10. Sentry Nova, what about you guys? You can take the aid.
I'm gonna hold my action
aiding is an
again.
action. Okay, you're just going to hold it for any more damage?
Actually, no. I will aid someone. So how
Who do you want to
I
aid?
someone again?
Well, what do you want to do?
I will aid. I'm gonna aid our navigator.
Okay, so what does that look like? Like, how are you going to aid him? Like, how are you helping Quill?
Tell him he's looking great today.
Oh, thanks.
Well, what
Definitely
what
come
in
up
the
with some
job?
great
Like, so Quill's trying to
plans.
navigate and try and get the skiff back on track. Is Nova leaning out the other side, trying to kind of help pinpoint and peer through the smoke and the fire, or?
Oh God, I didn't actually think beyond that. I thought it was just going to be a roll.
No,
Maybe
the RP part of role playing.
The first drift was because we just got buffeted by strong winds. Maybe you're
Yeah.
helping in some way to protect against wind, our greatest enemy. I hate you.
My only friend. Yeah, I was just wondering if I could use. Oh God, my perception is garbage.
You also
But make some
you
sort
don't need to look. You don't need to use a specific skill. This can be a purely narrative. I'm helping Quill.
Giving Quill advantage.
Yeah, I'm giving him
I just
advice.
I just want to
saying,
help.
"You're doing
Yeah.
great."
I want to give him advice on kind of navigation, kind of, look at where the wind's flying, look at where that blast
Advice
came
on
from,
navigation?
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly it. So you're looking down, trying to survey the battlefield and figure out the angles of the attacks and turn this way, a 45 degree. You're kind of shouting that stuff to Quill to try and aid him. Okay, perfect. So Quill,
Advice on navigation.
aid
Stay
action
in your
means
lane.
you have
You already
advantage
got
on
the
your
wrong
check.
way. Hey.
Yeah.
Sentry, are you doing anything with this guy, or what do you want to do?
Could I stand in front of the engine, hold up my shield and be a protective barrier for the engine?
Yeah, I'd say until the start of your next turn, as long as you're doing that, I'll treat the engine as having your AC instead of its AC. So it has to
Awesome.
hit you to hit the engine, basically.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right.
Sweet. Well, in that case, perception, that's, oh God, that rolled from a 1 to a 13, 24, and a 27, plus a d4.
Okay.
28.
I mean, either way, it's a success. So yeah, you get to move. You will one space. Just remember, you can't go backwards.
Okay. So could I do just a hard 90 degree this way?
You can do a hard 90 degree, yeah, if you want to. Yep.
All right, I'll do that then. And everyone else will follow, obviously.
For a little bit
We're
of
in the same place.
flavour, I'll have Lucius, because that's a hard 90 degree, just make a vehicle check for me. Just do a
By
sky
flavour, you
vehicle
mean
check.
mishap potential. Yeah. 8. I rolled a 1.
Okay. It's
More
less
flavour!
than as you spin it, you try and cause this thing, and it causes the whole skiff to bank, and you all suddenly are knocked off your feet. This is a hard thing. You're sliding around. None of you fall off or anything like that, but the skiff is now at this perilous angle as Lucius has turned it, banked it super
Sorry,
hard
everyone!
to try and turn
It's
it
really
around.
hard to control.
Lucius, you have an action. What would you like to do?
Can I kind of correct course based on what's just happened and just try and level out and improve my chances of going the right direction next time?
Sure. Yeah. Make another vehicle check for me.
Stabilization, basically.
Yeah. Well, in actual fact, no, let's not make it vehicle, because I think that this is trying to stable it out. Maybe something like athletics, this is raw, you're trying to pull the ship back onto course and fight the winds.
Yeah. Okay. That's less. But
Also, I don't like people making the same check twice in a row. I think it's boring.
That's a 9.
9, okay. So you're trying to, but the winds are fighting here, and also that blast from the cannons is almost kind of fishtailing the skiff in the air, and like you're just struggling to pull it back into place. It was a good effort, but unfortunately, you know, no penalty, but you're just not giving any advantage for next time.
I'll be calling out saying, "This is so much harder to control than I thought. If anyone can assist in any way to get us to the right place, now's the time."
Perfect. Okay. With everybody taking a turn and Tom mysteriously running off to fix something. I think there's either a cat or a
ladder.
A gnat problem. Yeah. Something going on.
Tash has fallen. Can't get up.
Tash fallen. She can't get up. Yeah. Okay. So this time, from the ground level down below, and from the airships kind of flying over the city of glass, lots and lots of smaller fire, probably from things like Valkyrian rifles and things like that, begin peppering the skiff entirely. Just dozens of these attacks, like, but they're like mosquito bites, all kind of chipping into the armor and things like that. This is going to be an attack against the skiff and also an attack against each of you individually.
Jeez. All right.
This can only target the hull because it has to shoot the...
So it's only I've taken an action here. This is like
No,
in
everyone's
between
taken an action.
This is my second one now.
Yeah, everyone's.
Yeah, we've all taken 2 actions.
Yes.
I knew that.
You okay, Tom?
All good.
So, however, whilst these may be smaller kind of blasts of force energy and magitech, these are much more pinpoint accurate. Coming in from the airships or down below, almost like these are kind of like long range rifles begin peppering the skiff itself. So against the skiff, there's no disadvantage this time because there was no evasive maneuvers. That's going to be a 21. That's going to hit. And then we're looking at only 7 points of damage, so it doesn't do enough because Ayla repaired that hull. If that hull hadn't been repaired, this would have blasted into the engine or affected the rest of the hull. But because of it, you just hear it kind of like bing, 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 rattling off the sides of the hull. I'm gonna make a attack against each of you now. So Quill, that is going to be a 23.
Oh God, yep.
So that's going to be 6 points of force damage. Sentry. Oh, no, that's not. I don't have advantage on that. That's only a 13. So just blasts off the shield. Ping, 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 ping. Nova, 19.
Exactly lethal. Yep.
Exactly. That's going to be 9 points of force damage. Again, kind of just like your hair's being frizzed and burnt, like your shoulders being buzzed by these stinging blasts. Lucius, 18.
Yeah. That very much hits.
Anything
above
6
2
points of force damage. Yeah.
6.
And then Ayla. Oh, it was my first roll. I don't know why I'm rolling twice. 17, which I believe is a miss against Ayla. So again, just probably not even dodging. The blasts just don't register as anything on Ayla. They're just kind of like, bouncing off muscles. And yeah, just they begin peppering the skiff through the air. No major damage from this, apart from a few burns to yourselves. But you can see those big artillery pieces now sort of reloaded and are tracking you through the air. Okay. There's 3 more rounds, and then it's a random roll to see if you reach the ground or not. What do you guys want to do? Oh, it's break time.
Dramatic break.
Yeah, I just realized it's break time.
Oh, wow! All right.
I got 2 into it.
Oh my God! Oh, we're heading towards where I wanted to go.
Yeah. An initial kind of like, oh God damn it! I'm forgetting my own rules. You got hit by 1 attack. You should have drifted after I did that attack.
So
because you got hit by one of the big blasts, that is supposed to knock you off course as well. That's the whole point of being attacked. Is not just the damage.
If you want to do the drift, do the drift.
I'm gonna do the drift. So because this was an attack, it's a D8 which I'll roll, and then you drift a number of squares equal to the damage divided by 10. So this would be 2 squares drift.
God, that's 4. A lot.
So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the southeast. So you would have gone
southeast.
Yeah, like this.
What, north of where I wanted to land?
Yeah.
By 1 tile.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And now to get to the encampment,
and then
we have to go
you got
over
hit by the
artillery.
small arms fire as well, which is going to be 1 to the side.
Is small arms fire enough?
Yes, but it only moves you one. So small arms will only
Right.
ever drift you one. So
So
it
we're
kind of-
only
the big
moving
blast-
one, but then every time this thing
The
could
skiff
move
is
us
slow,
three
yeah.
other.
Yeah, and it's random
It
as
just
well. That's the
careens
problem.
We
with
have-
skiff is it's very
feel like
slow.
we have less influence on the direction of this boat than the guns do.
Yeah, well, yeah, because like these huge explosions, like these giant beams, are like knocking this skiff through the air, right? That's why
Yeah. I
like
think-
trying to not be hit is the most important thing. Like Lucius doing those evasive maneuvers is such a big impact versus like being blasted. But also, you've got very unlucky in that I've attacked you twice on this random events table, right?
Yeah.
Like,
also,
there
the
are other
influence we're
things.
having on this ship is that we're not going straight into the ground, nose first. So
Yeah,
that's good.
It's me messing around with mechanics. I'm sorry if it's not like, you know, I'm still trying to kind of like get things.
Oh no,
get things
this is
worked out.
so
That's
cool.
cool.
And you came up with this today.
The random directions, you could have easily been like you could have been like in the middle of the fucking map by now, or like in the City of Glass. I could have, you could have got like, you could have landed in the City of Glass. You know, it's just pure luck that it's going in the direction that Tom wanted it to.
Hesper's guiding us, and who am I to not answer his call?
Yeah, so cool.
You guys want to do that too?
Thanks, Hesper. I thought you died.
Yeah. Cool.
Holy crap.
I'm
All
going to
right,
quickly
your
just
break.
dip away from my PC because it's getting very warm. So I'm going to dip away from here. We're going to take a quick break.
Nice. Sweet. And I will read some donations. If you guys want to dip, up to you. Everyone staying? This is weird. What's happening? No, everyone's gone. Okay. Hey, Crizzy29, thank you for your donation. Crizzy says, cannot watch live today because making that big dollary dues at work, but will VOD later. Here is $5 dues for the awesome D&D Chaos crew ever. Just so you know, this Halloween, my 7-year-old will dress up as Nova. Wow. Awesome. That's great. Timmy24 has donated with happy 3rd anniversary, High Rollers. It's that's what they wrote. That wasn't me messing it up. They also say, it's been an amazing few years, and I hope we'll celebrate many, many more. We will. Happiest in winter with a $250. And they say, Eros has brought me so much joy over the last few years. Thank you so much for everything. And thank you for the endless drawing inspiration. That's going to be one chunky email. Yeah, send it to the fan art email. P.S. Started this before the episode. Now I'm crying. Wow. Clear skies. Thank you very much. Ghost in progress with a $500. Is this Niagara Falls or my tears? Scientists can't tell. I think this is all in relation to the intro video that we had. A surprise for Mark. Now everyone's crying. Sorry. Being Wolfie, thank you very much. £5 for each year of Erois. Been here since Lightfall episode 1 and never want to miss a single episode. Never think High Rollers is just a show. It's the muse for artists, a community for loners, and inspiration for a generation of DMs old and new. I'll take that. Thank you very much, Being Wolfie. The Warden, W-A-A-D-E-N, Warden, with a $250. Just caught up after my Lightfall break, after I caught up right before the Tassadar. Here's for all the hours of entertainment. Thank you very much, the Warden, if I'm saying that one correctly. Stefan Tomo, thank you very much. Happy birthday, Erois. Having been here since the start, I've been captivated, inspired, and amazed at every turn. I can't thank the players, the DM, and the community I have yet to meet for making this something special. Clear skies and keep the light strong. Keep the light strong. I like that. Saramana with a $250. Thank you very much. Happy anniversary. Hubby and I love you guys immensely. Thank you for an amazing journey. We also miss the goblin who should not be named. Delete that. Deleted. Thank you, Saramana. Duck Sorcery with a $250 as well. Happy 3rd anniversary. I started watching back in December thanks to Ravsy Boy. And man, what a journey. I'm almost caught up now and not looking forward to only having weekly episodes. Curse of Strahd. There you go, Curse of Strahd. Or previous campaigns if you haven't watched those. Thank you all for the entertainment and clear skies. Thank you very much, Duck Sorcery. That Norwegian guy with a $250. Pristine, pure, unsullied, diaphanous, crystal clear skies. I can't believe it's been 3 years already. I hope to see you all roll high for the rest of time. I'm a real slut for this campaign. Spank my emotions, Mark. There you go. That Norwegian guy.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Thanks. I like it. Brian Indigo, thank you very much. We must think about the greater good and rid the City of Glass of the VIN kids and Dog Muck and those crusty Hadars. Yeah, let's just glaze it. Oh, wait, it's already glazed. It's a City of Glass. That's the point. Daft Day 41 with a
nice Hot Fuzz
donation,
reference.
and they just say, clear skies. Thank you very much. I didn't get the reference. Jack of Spoons, happy birthday, Erois. Happy birthday, Erois. I've only recently joined the hype train since the first lockdown, managing to watch Lightfall and Erois within 3 months whilst I was searching for a job. Now that I've been made redundant, guess there's only one thing to do. Watch more Erois is the irresponsible thing, I think. But thank you very much, Jack of Spoons. Natalie June Hawthorne. This week my players killed an elemental lord of magma and one of the PCs ascended to godhood. This may sound like bad news for my goal of killing everybody, but I still have some tricks up my sleeve. It sounds like it's too late. One of them is a god now. It would be a shame if some other gods took an interest. I see. Natalie. Kill them players. Kill them. Kill them dead. I believe in you. You can do it. You got it. Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome back.
Hi. Welcome back.
I will be back very shortly. Enjoy.
Yeah, let this boy have a little break. Rhiannon's got to finish eating her cereal bar or whatever. She's just trying
Every
to
time!
shovel him. Always comes back with a snack, that Rhiannon. It's the snack attack. It's the mid-break snack attack. Every time. Well, I will quickly check and see. Oh, actually, no, I can't because I've closed Discord. If somebody has it open and would like to check and see if Nightjar has put some messages in there for us to read out.
Well, that's happening. Did you forget that it was Rose's third birthday? Where's our present? Oh, you forgot? Oh, that's okay, because you can check out D&D Beyond for free using the link in the chat, and that'll be a real nice gift to us. Check out our sponsor. And you know what? It's actually a gift for you because it's an amazing tool set that you can use to
Why
your
not
D&D
buy
campaign.
some of our merch from Fresh Merch Co.
There's that too. Yeah.
You can buy that and give yourself a gift.
Use the code High Rollers for 10% off.
10% off. And give yourself a gift and give us a gift at the same time. A gift of money.
And you get some cool merch.
Speaking of...
Feels better.
Speaking of a gift of money, thank you very much to the following for your High Rollers gift subs. And that is Nearshid, D. Miller 1841, Recall with 100 gift subs at the top of the stream.
Holy crap, Recall.
Wolfie.
Classic Recall.
Exactly. Instantly Recall, it was during your video message that I started blubbing like a child. So thank you for that. Thank you as well to Being Wolfie, Ghost in Progress, and Weirchan. Thank you as well for the bits from Trumpole, from MK13 Wolfie, and from Wolf of the Hell 11, who donated $100 in sheer bits, saying, "Thank you guys for everything. You are all amazing." MK13 Wolf also said donated $100 in sheer bits, saying, "Happy 3rd anniversary and thanks a lot for during these times." Also, thanks Kim for the input on the Reddit. Still think I'm going to do something different, but something at least. It's about Worthless. MK13 Wolfie has been doing kind of sports analysis of all our characters, which I find very amusing. But drew a blank with Worthless, and I was like, don't worry, I drew a blank with Worthless as well. Don't worry about it. And on Yog Donos, as ever, Olo Renve donated with no message. And then looks like there's been some sneaky sneaks going on with the Discord. Because there was a message here from Nightjar saying... So we made a little something for you to take a look at in your leisure. It's still only a small fraction of the larger community, but we wanted a place for people to leave messages and let you know how much Erois High Rollers and you mean to them. We don't expect you to read... Oh, wait, no. I read it on stream.
There's over 200 messages.
So basically, Nightjar has posted a link in the staff room of the High Rollers Discord where there are hundreds of messages from the community. So I think
have to
we
read through
have
every
some
single
nighttime
one.
reading for that.
There's
Yes,
so many.
thank you very
I'm
much.
not reading those
Yeah.
just yet.
Can we-
I'll be
can we
waiting
just-
until after the
Holy
stream.
crap! Yeah.
No, I want to read them
Oh my
now.
gosh! I
What
just
do I-
opened the link.
Yeah.
We're happy. We can't read them now. We
Oh.
can't.
We cannot. No, we
No,
cannot read
there's
that.
hundreds.
That's a 3-hour
There's
stream.
there's
Also,
hundreds.
I'll cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So thank
Jesus.
you very
I'm gonna
kindly,
crash my
everyone.
PC.
That's a lot. Thank you very much.
Holy
everyone.
crap! Thank you,
I
everyone.
can't open that.
One thing I will
very
say
kind.
with the video, and we talked obviously Recall gifting so many subs, like every time we
this
stream,
one.
I feel like it's just Recall gives loads. But yeah, stop. What a beard! I want to say as well, Recall, epic
Yeah.
beard. It's like proper,
Damn.
down to the belly beard. I was like, damn.
Also, Dale, that is some nice wallpaper. Some real nice wallpaper. I just wanted to point that one out.
Yeah.
You got some
Pumpkin had a
style.
I like
legendary
Pumpkin's
hat.
hat.
That was a nice
Yeah.
hat.
Yeah,
Nice
there's a big
hat.
hat debate going on in our Discord, so you
Yeah.
know I like that.
That's very
Subtle
nice.
trolling.
Right. With all of that, shall we get back to playing some Dungeons and Dragons?
I think we should.
I like that. Yes.
With my very cobbled together rules. But the Sky Skiff, having left Horizon aboard this kind of scouting ship, you are slowly descending down towards the City of Glass, or to the Giselle Peninsula, I should say, because not quite sure where you're going to land. There are numerous weapons, Magitech cannons on the ground level firing up at Horizon. You can see that the battle, when you do glance up, it's only been a few seconds since you departed, but already there is a fierce firefight happening between Horizon and the fleet of airships and these ground cannons, all kind of erupting around you, all sorts of fire and explosions going off. And you can see fighting down on the ground, thick plumes of smoke rising up to meet you, but you still have a few seconds before you are going to be close enough to try and land this vehicle. And we start at the top of round with a brand new round. What would you guys like to do? Again, like there's no need to do initiative because you're all kind of working together. So
Yeah. I mean, how close to landing are we? Are we like halfway down now?
So I said it was 5 rounds plus 1d3. So I will roll a d6 when you get to the 5th round.
Right. Because I'm wary of actually getting to this encampment, you guys. I can keep navigating that way, but
Old
like,
Lucius, which way to navigate?
We're still
We
too
could do a
high to go
circle.
to the other one. Yeah.
You still
That's
got
true.
plenty of time, yeah.
also we'd be
might
crossing
assist
right in front of
Lucius.
these.
You asked me what?
Okay.
I think I'll assist Lucius.
Oh, assist.
How
Right.
are you going to do that? What does that look
Um,
like? Describe it to me.
Trying to help. It sounds like he's struggling with the physicality of steering it, so I
Right,
might just try and lend him a little bit of strength to steer this
Sure.
the ship on course and even it out a bit, like physically.
Sure. Well, that's just going to be, you're taking the aid action, so you use your action, and Lucius has advantage on his next skill check, which will be thingy. Oh, look at that. Nice. Next drop.
Cool.
Okay,
Cool,
so
cool, cool.
Ayla is helping Lucius, like physically, like gripping the wheel with him. Like he's still having to guide like the sails. Like you don't know what any of that stuff does, Ayla. Like he like when he tells you to pull or twist it that way or twist it that way, you're kind of lending that extra bit of strength. You know, it's not. Sometimes it's more complicated, but when he needs that raw strength, you're there to aid. What about everyone else?
Well, I'm going to be again second last on the turn, so
you're going to just try and
Sentry
navigate
and-
again. Okay.
I
Alright,
will, yeah,
Nova.
well, after Sentry and Nova, yeah.
Cool.
Anything you guys want to do?
Um,
Again,
I'm
feel free to
gonna-
get creative, get nuts.
I'm
Get
gonna
nasty.
end the bless. I'm gonna cast Aura of Vitality on myself, so that emanates a 30-foot radius of healing energy from me.
I didn't know you had that.
So I can cause one creature in that area to regain 2d6 hit points. So I'm gonna do that on Lucius and give Lucius 2d6 hit points as a bonus action.
Awesome. So Sentry
And I
just
can
in
just
the
keep
middle of this skiff
firing that off.
just begins radiating, you know, golden light, and as it touches Lucius, it begins to mend some of his wounds.
So
9
hit points.
Back to full, thank you.
Lovely.
What?
All right, so that's Sentry's action. Nova.
I would like to. I think I'm gonna hold my action to deal with any mishaps that happen.
Okay. Sure. Yep. All right. So
Cool.
Quill, navigator check, no advantage this time. Just
No
a straight
advantage.
roll. Perception.
Also, I did pass before the extra d4, but I shouldn't have added the d4. But I get a 20, unnatural 20.
That is a success this round.
Perfect. I am going to, since we're not mega close to the ground, I'm going to still try and head towards this encampment. So just move one tile northwest towards that.
Okay. Nice, and you begin to just turn the sky skiff a little bit to the south, and then Lucius, you've not taken a turn yet. Do you want to try and use evasive maneuvers? Do you want to try and do something else, cast a spell, or try and do anything with the skiff? Try and give yourself some sort of boost next turn, or do anything creative? You tell me.
Can I get a free action to just check my surroundings? Because I feel like I'm driving blind based on Quill's direction right now. I kind of want to get a gauge on if we're level, if we're actually like going into trees or anything like that.
You're not going into trees, like you're still quite high up. Yeah, if you glance down, Quill, you're at a slower descent angle, right? So to prevent, because if you were going at a steeper angle, it would be harder for Quill to navigate, and also, if you took damage, it would, really make you suffer if you were hit like you were angled downwards. So you're at quite a slow descent angle, just trying to kind of gliding on the winds. You can see that you're now slowly beginning to come over a section of quite forested hills, like ragged, rocky hills, with a big sort of tree canopy going towards this encampment. You're getting closer to the ground, but there's still significant amount of time. Like you're not in any danger of sort of like crashing into treetops or anything like that yet.
I think I want to ensure that we're taking the correct course and that we're trying to head to the northern side of these hills so that they're between us and the artillery fire.
Okay, make a vehicle check for me, and if you succeed, what I'll do is I'll give you, if you do get knocked off course, maybe like a re-roll, or like you can orient the skiff in a different way.
I'm being assisted, right?
Yeah. You do have advantage.
Good. It's a 14 and a 13.
So, even looking around, even with Ayla's strength, this isn't a matter of strength. Like, trying to orientate yourself and keep yourself on that northern embankment. It's at that point, through no fault of Lucius or Ayla's own, huge explosions kind of by these mist barrages, like, just you have to swerve at the last minute, which prevents you from kind of getting that better approach angle, and you just have to swerve at the last second. You kind of save the ship from careening into it, but it means that your desired effect, unfortunately, doesn't come to pass. I will roll to see what happens.
Yay! All that
4.
barrage.
Barrage and obscured vision. So this time, what happens is another big cannon, this time with some sort of large explosive shell or something like that, erupts around the skiff with a blinding flash. So the skiff is going to take an attack, normal attack here. That is going to be an 18. I need to decide what it's going to hit. That is going to hit the helm, which is where Lucius is. So the helm has 50 hit points. So this is going to hit. 5. That's going to be 19 points of damage to the helm. Not enough to cause a mishap, but it does go over the damage threshold. So you're all going to take 9 points of force damage each as this explosion erupts around. And then also,
19,
this
18.
blinding explosion is going to make it harder, Quill, for you to navigate. So the DC is going to increase for the next navigation check you want to make, as you're like peering through like eyes, trying to kind of see where you're going.
How many points of damage is that? 9.
It was 19, and then all of you take 9 individually. So 19 to the helm.
Let's roll concentration for Aura of Vitality.
Sure.
6.
The
How much
DC would
HP does the helm have?
10. 50.
Okay, so I pass that. It's fine.
Right. So it was 18. Was that the roll to hit? The initial roll?
The damage is 19.
Yeah.
The roll to hit was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still good. We're still up.
31.
Getting close, though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Helm's on
okay.
31 hit points.
Yeah. But not enough to cause a mishap, luckily. A mishap to the helm would have potentially locked the steering, and you wouldn't have been able to do any sort of piloting or anything like that. It would have just been you're going in that direction unless you get hit and knocked around. But okay,
well, we're going the right
so
direction at the moment. So
you're going the right direction. So keeping the skiff on course. This explosion erupts around, but Quill, you're kind of blinking. Your vision kind of slightly filled by halos and other effects around you.
Does the hit careen us though and make us drift?
Thank you, Tom Hazel. It does. It is a hit against the skiff, which will cause you to drift. Let's see which direction. 1d8. Counting around. So if the top is 1, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to actually send you up towards the City of Glass like this.
Okay. That
So again,
puts us in pretty much exactly where we wanted to be.
Rocks you to the skiff, and you begin screening towards the walls of the City of Glass. 2 rounds left before for the variant duration. You guys, what do you guys want to do?
Well, where are we heading? Are we going left or right?
We need to go left more now. Left. I think. I think it's left. We were hit. I can't see anything.
That's the roleplay. Essentially, I'm doing the same thing.
Yep. You're welcome, everyone. That's the roleplay.
Kind of crazy. I got a mildly crazy idea for Nova.
This is exactly the time to do those crazy ideas.
It's probably a bit of a not up there, but can I fire Eldritch Blast out in an attempt to try and basically track the path and see kind of like, just, I don't know, punch a hole through this kind of, just almost track the trajectory of where it goes and see like, if it will punch a hole through the obscurity.
So you want to try and use Eldritch Blast like to kind of where like the smoke and the light from this explosion is kind of disrupting the vision. You want to try and use Eldritch Blast to almost be like a beacon of like or an orientation, right? Like that's what you kind of want to like a guidance laser almost. Okay.
Yeah.
Just make one attack roll. I know you've got the 3 beams, but let's assume that this is like we're going to basically use your spell attack bonus instead of a skill check to try and do this, right? So you're going to try and use your 3 blasts to try and triangulate where you are. So just make 1 spell attack. 25, yeah. I'd say, okay, so with that, you do manage to kind of give Quill an indication, like, of where things are, like where things are quite blurry and maybe the smoke is kind of like blocking line of sight, or, Quill's vision is blurry. Like these lines kind of give him something to base on, and you've got a vaguer idea of where you are. I'll reduce the penalty because of that.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Sure.
Anyone else?
I think I'll try and assist Lucius again with managing some of the sails.
Okay.
The strength
So
check.
give me a strength check. Yep.
That is a 19 plus 7.
Easy. So yeah, once again, kind of running over to the sails, you begin hoisting them as Lucius calls things out. You rotate them and position them as is needed, giving advantage to the next piloting check. Sentry.
Are there any birds around?
I think that
I found one. Quill, he's right here.
I mean, for the sake of because I want whatever you're thinking of to be a thing that you can do. Yes, I think that you can see that in the treetops below you, because you're over these tree lines, and maybe like on the walls of the City of Glass, there are birds, but they're panicked. They're like hidden and they're hiding from the loud explosions and the fighting and things like that. But there's some. Yeah. What do you want to do?
I want to use speak with animals, but but I want to use the birds as kind of like a warning signal for incoming fire. So like maybe a brave few can perch on the skiff, and I can get.
I love this, right? So mark off the spell. You cast the spell, and then do a persuasion check as you try and speak to the birds and like, bird friends, we need your help.
7 plus 8, 8, 64, 15.
15. I'll say 15's enough. And you want them to be like an early warning if you're about to be attacked, right?
And they'll do a little squawk to like warn us.
Right, and then that gives Lucius like throws the ship to the side or whatever. Okay, sure. All right, I'll give Lucius advantage as if he'd taken evasive maneuvers, right? So like, we'll say
Nice.
that the birds, but this is a one-time thing. Birds won't do this again. Like the birds are, terrified of all these loud explosions and things like that. So yeah, I love it. Perfect.
Nice. And then
Right,
can I
so
give
Quill
Quill
and Lucius.
2d6 healing as a bonus
Oh yeah,
action
you get to do that as
for
well. Yeah,
vitality?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Nice.
That's 5 for Quill.
Man, I am already seeing the godlike plays when we both cast Aura of Vitality. Already seeing it. Already feeling it. I will do... Gonna stack them. My perception... do I have advantage? I don't, do I?
I don't believe
Oh no,
you do.
it was less DC, lower than
Less
DC.
of a penalty.
DC's lower.
Yes.
Oh, good God.
But it was
17.
the DC was higher, and then you've lowered it, so it's like a little bit higher.
17, I think.
17 is not enough, unfortunately. That's what you needed before the penalty, and then even with Nova's reduction, it's still going to miss. So because of the smoke, the vision, even with Nova's guiding light, it's difficult to see and get your bearings. The vision begins to clear. But I need you to roll a D8 for me, Quill.
Yes. D8 is 8. I think that's
straight
us
up.
North.
No, so 1, 2, 3,
Northwest, maybe?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I put you 8 when I should have put you to the side. But that's okay. That was just my error. So it's going to be this direction.
Okay. I mean, not bad. It's not terrible.
So
not the
when
worst.
you begin careening towards the city of glass, and you can see that these tall glass spires, as you are getting lower and lower, the skiff is going to start getting into the position where it's going to potentially start smashing through these spires itself as you begin to careen down towards the city of glass. Lucius.
The question we ask ourselves at this point is, do we bail out and use our wings?
The question I'm asking myself is, what's happened to your voice?
What do you
You sound
mean?
doubled up.
Yeah, your voice has gone a bit weird.
Something's gone.
Is it?
Yep. Like a bit fishbowly.
It's very panicked.
That better?
It's
Yes.
better, it's better.
Yes.
Now ask the question again. What was the question again?
Do you want to jump out,
The
basically?
question
Do
is-
you want to bail?
I'm seeing towers and spires through the plumes of smoke. I don't really want us to collide with those before we can eject.
Can we, if all goes well, Mark, would we be able to sort of U-turn back to the correct destination?
If you guys jump out, I will let you go backwards because you can then angle yourselves. But when you leave the skiff, you all begin tracking your own trajectories individually.
Okay.
But that allows
sounds
you
like
have
bad
more
times.
freedom of movement, right? You can go backwards, you can spin around. You also move quicker, so you'll get to the ground. So you might be able to all get to the thing next round. If you jump out now, you might all be able to like get to where you want to go immediately.
So, Lucius.
Nova had a question.
Just how high off the ground are we at the moment?
So I'm not going to give it in feet because it's like it's I actually saying that you want to know because you want to cast a spell, don't you? That's why.
Is it within 500 foot?
I'm going to say
Like,
no. Because I want to use the cool mechanics. But I guess I don't want to stop you doing a cool thing that your character can do.
So we jumped at 2,000 if we're like...
approximately 2,000. So if I divide that by 5,
yeah.
that works out to be 2,200. What's that? It's 2,000 divided by
a turn.
400 a turn. So 4, 8, 16. So yeah, you'd be about 600. So I'd say this turn you're about 600 to 800 feet above the ground. Next turn you'd be at 500 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So you could try and use the portal.
If you drop the skiff, I could portal us down. It needs to go lower though.
Buckle up! There's no top and no buckles. So here we go.
Or we jump.
Race action.
Or we jump.
You've already used your action, I'm afraid, Sentry. You've already done it.
Is it just me left?
Just you. You've got one action
In
left.
which case, I'm going to pull down on, I guess...
So you want to just pitch it down so it just goes... Okay. Make a land vehicles check for me on this. You have advantage.
First one is a 19. That's good.
Okay.
And then I got a nat 20, a 27.
Oh.
27.
Oh.
Lucius pitches it down, and with Ayla kind of pulling in all the sails, you actually bring all the sails in, Ayla, to give it that kind of drop, and you all feel that sudden shift in gravity as this just pitches down, straight down, careening towards this large crystalline set of manor houses or towers or buildings, whatever they once were, and it is gonna crash into them. There is one more round before you guys are gonna reach the bottom, where I'm gonna roll to see what happens.
Fair enough.
4. This is barrage and obscured vision. So one of the airships is going to take a shot at the skiff, and then this is going to kind of create a blinding.
So we're jumping blind.
That is a 28. 28 to hit the skiff.
Yeah,
so the damage.
I think that'll hit. Yeah.
Does it have disadvantage because of the bird screeching?
I didn't roll. That's very well remembered. I will roll. Okay,
the birds,
so
damn it!
My,
the birds!
My first one was an 18, and my second attack roll was a 19. So yes, it's still gonna hit. So the birds, as soon as it pitches downwards, they're just like ah, and they just fly like just.
Understandable.
Yeah. So that was 6,
understandable.
9,
Have a good day.
Yeah. Peace out.
Bye.
That's 18 more points of damage to the skiff, to the hull. No mishap.
Right.
However, it is still
okay.
going to knock you off course. 1 square.
Oh.
So
Further into the city.
Further into the city, it does.
18.
Oh.
53. The skiff.
Oh,
53.
we are far away now.
I mean,
So-
we're going there anyway. It's not the end of the world.
The skiff careens off to the side from this barrage, and again, this kind of explosion of light. All of you are kind of like blinking your eyes, smoke and debris, flames on the front of the skiff itself are clouding your vision, making it harder to navigate where you would like to go. It hasn't potentially reached the ground. Like I said, it's a variable amount, but I'd say with Lucius pitching down, this is going to potentially crash this turn. What do you guys want to do?
We also have obscured vision, right? Like,
Yeah, so can I see the ground?
I would say you
Can I see a point?
guess. You can guess where you
Yeah.
thought there was a point, and you can see where the portal takes you.
deep underground.
We all get an action here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Can I...
But I will say this: if you want to go through Nova's portal, that has to be your action.
Oh.
So Nova can cast it and move through it on her turn, but the rest of you, if you do anything else, you won't be able to use Nova's portal. But you could bail out independently. You could. I'd say that jumping out is a free action. You can just decide to be like, I'm out of here, bye.
I'm putting all my trust in Nova's portal and holding on. Waiting for that portal.
I'm putting all my trust in Nova's portal, but also aiding. In case she needs to make a roll.
That's your action.
Well, and that would be your action, Quill.
And then I'm just gonna open my wings and just watch the ship plummet into the ground.
Do you want to just jump off? Or you want to just like, I'm out, peace?
I mean, how long would it take me to get to the ground if I was to do that? Literally just wings out
What's
and
your
then
fly
just
speed?
free fall. If I
What's your
free
fly
fall
speed?
after that point.
Oh, it'd be the same as everybody else. Like you'd be free falling. Yeah, it'd be the same as everyone. The only difference is, Quill, you don't need the chute. You don't need the pack. You can just free fall and then be like. Woof.
That's the thing. I'm thinking if I, as Perception Boy, if I help Nova get this portal correct, and then free fall and not go through the portal,
sure,
would I be able to find them? Probably.
Maybe. It's your call. Let's. You got to decide now. What's your action?
We're blinded, and I really want everyone else safe. I'm gonna do that.
All right. So you're gonna aid Nova. Sure. Okay. All right, Nova, you'll have advantage on whatever check I make you make in a moment. Sentry and Ayla, what are you guys doing?
Oh,
Sentry, what are you torn about? Because I want to know what's like your current.
Are there any badgers nearby?
Badgers, no. If Quill jumps off the ship, Sentry will want to make sure that Quill is safe, and she'll
You
want
want to
to
jump off with him.
Jump off with Quill.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just no.
If that's
point
what
in doing
Sentry would
this,
do what Sentry would do.
Because she doesn't, in case he gets into trouble, she wants to help.
If it
I'll
helps,
jump off.
Sentry,
I'll follow Quill.
if it helps, I probably wouldn't be telling anyone that I'm going to do this. I'm just like, yeah, you need to go down that way, and just like
you don't need to say that that's what you're doing. It's clear that you're helping Nova, and you're not making preparations to go through her portal. Yeah, you won't have the time, and Sentry would know that. So, yeah, cool. All right, Ayla.
Can I prepare myself to rage as a bonus action and jump through in case Nova's portal crashes us somewhere? I need to like brace myself, like
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can just you can do
Plus,
that. So
Ayla's
you can
probably
just
mad
rage
as
now.
hell.
Yeah, you
She's
can
probably
just
mad
rage
as
now.
hell that they're in a nosedive and she doesn't like airships falling, so she's probably pissed off as it is, but she will be like, okay, Nova, do it! And then
and
she'll
then
go
just
through the
tuck
portal.
and roll. Cool. All right, Nova, the big call here. What you need to do here is like you have a vague memory of the layout before the blinding flash and the smoke. I'm trying to decide, and you can sway me on this, whether it would be a perception check or whether this would be like maybe an intelligence, like just a straight intelligence roll, because it's more based on like your memory of like, I think I remembered like this safe spot. I'm gonna go intelligence. I'm pretty sure this would be an intelligence check, not perception, because I think this is more about your photo memory. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, straight up intelligence. I got +2 intelligence.
As a point,
2 dice.
you are somewhere between 400 and 500 feet up in the air. The falling damage is 1d6 per 10 feet fallen, as an FYI.
We're dead otherwise, so let's just roll.
Sure, let's go.
We got wings.
I rolled an 18 and a 5. 18 plus 2 is an unnatural 20.
All right. You don't know whether you summon the two ends of the portal, and you, Lucius, and Ayla disappear through. Sentry and Quill, you're like, you're describing what you saw, and you're helping with Nova's memory. You're like, it was 300 feet or 500 feet down, and then on the left next to the tall spire. Picture it in your mind. You're like describing it to her from what you remember as well. But in doing so, you don't have the time. And as that portal comes, Sentry, I'd like you, Sentry, to roll. I think this would be initiative for me, because you're the one that, as Quill is like helping Nova, and Nova casts a spell and the three of them disappear, Quill is like getting ready to fall back. You see that the skiff, because of the angle, is about to slam into the side of a crystal spire, like it is about to crash. And you've got one chance to grab Quill and like pull him off the skiff before it does.
Okay. 11.
Oh, do I need to roll initiative as well, or?
That is the total. My
No.
initiative is 0.
Okay.
You were helping Nova, whereas like Sentry's action was like waiting to jump off with you, which is why I'm giving it to Sentry. You're just too slow, Sentry. It's just like you see it coming and you're like rushing towards him. Quill, you luck up in time as the skiff smashes through this glass tower. Glass spreads everywhere. The portal vanishes. Glass spreads everywhere. I need you and Sentry. Make dex saving throws for me, both of you.
I get a plus D4
You get
for
+3.
this. Oh, and a +3 as well.
You don't get the D4.
Oh, no, wait.
The bless is gone. Bless is gone.
Oh my. Okay.
No!
13. You rolled a 1.
Yep. Yes, I did.
Yep.
Oh, dexterous
Why?
Sentry.
Of all the times.
It's okay. Most of the damage to this glass spire was you going through it.
True.
So, a couple of things, right? The skiff smashes through this glass tower. You're both covered in debris of glass that was once stone, so it's these thick chunks. You're both going to take a significant amount of damage here. 33 points of damage to both of you. As you're like, taught like pieces of glass torn you, and then you are separated from the skiff. Lucius, Ayla, and Nova, you all arrive on the ground in that square that you're currently in. You guys are safe. You guys land on the ground. You emerge from the portal, kind of maybe tumbling out of it, slamming into the side. But Nova put this portal in a really safe place. You tumble out of it. As you see up ahead, the skiff hit the tower and just glass in a debris shield. You have to kind of like duck for cover. You like duck under like an awning as the glass shatters around you. Quill and Sentry, you guys are still free
visual
falling.
Dream. I wish I could see that.
You guys are in the air.
Very cool.
I'm going to scatter you both because you both hit the spire. And then we're going to go from there.
Okie dokie.
So,
okay.
1d8 for Quill. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You go southways. You took 33 points of damage. I'm just going to have you go 1 square. Sentry.
Perfect. I'm going where I wanted to go. See you guys.
He's 1 square closer.
2. 1, 2. You go to the north.
Plan all along.
You guys are still in the air. You have got 1 turn. So while you guys are on your own, this is the rules that would have been if you had jumped off the skiff, by the way. Both of you need to make a perception check at the start of your turn to try and navigate, to try and get back to your path, basically. So individually perception checks, please.
Well, I've already rolled on that 1. This can't get any more worse than it already is. There we go.
Okay. The being thrown off course, you both drift again, basically. You're both going to drift 1 more time. So
Alrighty.
Quill, you're going to go 3. 1, 2, 3. You're out in the ocean. Sentry, also. Sentry, you are flying, you are like careening underneath one of the enemy airships. You can see it overhead and it's looking around. As it does.
Really, by the way, I'm assuming each turn isn't 6 seconds. Like we have been launched 6 miles in 6 seconds.
No, yeah. So the other thing as well is like that's why I'm like moving you like 1 brief thing. It's not 6 seconds or anything like that. Yeah. It's also to represent that because you're so high up, like moving slightly up high means that your landing is quite far away down, right? Like you're not going like 2 miles. Like it's D&D, you can't accurately. I'm trying to make this cool and fun, not necessarily accurate and realistic.
What does that mean? We dead?
No, you're not dead. No, because you're going to have a chance to pull, like, Quill, you can just fly, so you can just, like, you begin flapping to stop yourself. This is pretty much where you guys are going to land. The only thing I was rolling was to see there'd technically be 1 more roll on the events table for each of you. Quill, the one I rolled for you is a sudden burst of strong wind threatens to blow you off course.
Oh,
Can you make a strength check, please?
Oh, a strength check. I'm good at those. Oh, that was strength save. Same thing. Natural 20.
Natural 20. All right. Yeah, you don't get blown off course. You're going to land basically where you are, out in the sea. Sentry.
Wait. Oh, this is where I've landed.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to land in that square, the 2-mile radius of that square.
Damn it. Okay.
Sentry. I rolled a 6, which is heavy barrage.
Hey.
As this airship sees the falling golden guardian and is like, fire at will, as it's gonna fire 3 times.
They just think I'm one of Sentry's birds.
The first one is a 18. So you like knock it aside with a shield, just this great beam of light, send it flying. The next one is gonna be a 22.
Oh my god.
16 points of force damage.
Okie dokie.
And then the last one's, definitely going to hit. That's like a 24.
Nice.
I've also drawn on the map.
2 10s and 2 9s. Oh my god. 38 force damage as this last one punches you down.
Oh my
and
god.
You just,
Christ.
You hit the water. Like, you managed to activate the chute, the wind chute, but you do it quite low to the water and you just plummet in, just like sploosh.
I mean, at least the wind chute activated.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah.
I've also drawn on the map the route that we've taken. I've landed exactly where we started.
Not
the same tile.
Technically, you started. Hang on, you started here.
Literally 1 square to the right.
Look,
he's just been on this whirlwind journey. And it all happened so quickly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just move the other 3 back to where they landed. And yeah. So Ayla, Lucius, and Nova, you guys emerge. The glass kind of falls down like rain around you. And after a few moments, it clears and it stops. You see like Quill and Sentry like drifting off like in the distance. Just see them like falling outside of the city walls.
Are we even recognizable amongst the debris?
Miles away.
Yeah, Sentry. Yeah, these guys are your
Sentry
friends.
is.
I'm not gonna be a douche about it. But you definitely see them like landing outside the city.
What do we do? They've gone. I'm just looking at the
That's a
debris
mild
of
problem.
the smashed skiff, and like my hand up to all this like debris of glass smashing at us.
I think we need to get
Okay.
somewhere safe quick. Let's get somewhere where we're shielded in the city, and then we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what to do. We don't know what's in here.
Right. Quill doesn't have a messenger ring.
No, but he can still send his little brain things. Maybe. He does that, right?
There's a building near. How close is that to us, considering this is a 2
So
mile square?
these squares are pretty big. You can get there in it depends on the movement you want to move at, right? So moving around this map, if you want to move quickly, you can basically move. It's basically 30 minutes to go from one square to another, right? If you move quickly. If you do that, you have disadvantage on perception checks, and potentially enemies will have bonuses to know you're coming. If you'd like to move at a normal speed, it takes about 45 minutes to go from one square to another, or one section of the city to the next. You don't have any penalties, you don't get any benefits. Or you can go at a slow pace, and it takes an hour to go from one square to a next, so one city section to another, but you can use stealth if you do that. That's travel pace. So to move around in the square that you're in, you can get there in like a few minutes. You can get there in like 5-10 minutes. It just depends on how quickly do you want to move around.
Is there any forces near us at the moment that we can see in visual range?
So I will say this: the city of Glass was once this dense metropolis, like this shining beacon of what Erois culture was before the Valkyrian War. The streets are tight and compact with tall buildings, all of which have been turned to this translucent glass now. This causes like reflections and distortions in it. You don't see any enemies immediately around you, but this empty city echoes sound. Not only that explosion of the skiff hitting the tower, but you can begin to hear sounds of fighting, but you have no idea where it's coming from. It's like bouncing all around the city. There is definitely activity here in the city. Whereabouts, you don't know, but you don't see any immediate threats.
Right.
I could potentially go and get one of them. I have a crazy plan. It's pretty dangerous. Might hurt, but I could do it.
How dangerous?
Okay. I can go invisible, fly up, figure out where one of them is, fly over to them, and dimension door back to this spot.
Dimension door is 500 feet, I believe, or is it bigger than that?
Dimension door doesn't have a range on it. It just says...
I'm certain it does.
It says on it... Hold on, I was just looking. Oh, yeah, sorry, it is 500
Otherwise, it's
feet.
teleport.
You're right.
I was going to say, otherwise it's going to be teleport.
Or I could teleport.
Yes, you can. The one thing I will remind you on teleport is that there is a chance that you can be off target. Yeah.
Can I try and communicate with Sentry?
Sentry, have you got messenger ring attuned?
I do, yeah.
Then yeah.
Sentry?
You can talk.
Sentry?
Ayla?
Where are you?
I'm in the ocean. I went under an enemy ship, but I'm
ocean?
Okay. Where's Quill? Where's Quill? Quill!
He
I
doesn't
don't know
have
where
a
Quill is.
ring on. We don't know where he is. Are you safe? Are you hurt? Are you okay?
I'm a bit hurt, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I think I can get back. If I can get Alnisix out, I can fly back. I hope Quill's okay.
If you can get
I
on...
don't know how to
messaging,
contact
is that
him.
right? Sentry, I think we saw him falling in the ocean as well, south of you. I don't know how
South.
far, but definitely outside the City of Glass walls. If you can get back on and start to fly, head in that direction and maybe look for him. Staying low.
Okay.
Stay below the tree line.
Okay, good plan. Okay, I'll head south. Thank you.
I think what we'll try and do is, I guess, head to the wall on the east side and meet up at the wall of City of Glass or something like that.
Okay, stay close to the buildings. Find cover. I'll be with you soon.
Will do. Good luck.
What's the plan? I don't have a messenger ring.
Oh,
Sentry's okay.
Yeah.
They're in the ocean.
Okay.
She's going to go and try and fly and find Quill, and we're going to try and rendezvous together. I don't know whether we should go on top of the wall to meet them, or this side of the wall, that side of the wall. I don't know.
She did say to
you're
take
saying
cover.
the word wall a lot, so let's head. I'm guessing head to the wall. I can make us invisible. That's easy. We can get there.
That'd be good.
I can make us invisible. Obviously, don't know if anyone can see through invisibility,
Sound
but
is still
it's something.
a problem.
Sound also a bit, but if you move, I'd say if you move at a normal pace, so if you don't go at the fast pace, but you're invisible, I'll say it's very unlikely that you'll encounter any enemies.
Cool.
Because even if they could hear you, they won't know where to look for you. You can just move, ahead or stop and wait for them to pass and then carry on. It's basically like you can stealth without doing it. But invisibility lasts an hour, right, Nova?
Yes.
So they'll basically be moving into the next square, and then sort of moving in that square will be the duration of the spell. So you can move one square under the effects of invisibility pretty easily, moving at a normal pace. Okay, so you guys, Nova casts invisibility, and you begin making your way east towards the wall. You can see the wall, it's easy to navigate to. Moving through the City of Glass invisibly, there are still feral guardians here. You remember that there were hundreds of feral guardians when you came here last time. Many of them under Herald's command, but they are still packs of them, roving around like wild animals. Many of them with disjointed or broken parts, many of them looking like they've been in ill repair for centuries. But you avoid them. With the invisibility and moving through, you manage to avoid any conflicts, but there are enemies here, for sure. You guys make your way to the wall. Let's jump over to Quill. Quill, I mean, you managed to kind of bring yourself to like a stop with your wings, and you're kind of hovering in the air after the fall.
I don't land in the water because that would ruin me. I think as I'm falling, I cast Expeditious Retreat on myself, and then I swoop up just along the top of the water. I'm going like 100 feet a turn at this point with Expeditious Retreat. Like flashes of waves behind me. I look cool as fuck. And my plan is to basically just head north towards where I guess I would have seen Sentry falling.
Yeah, you would have seen her flying off, yeah.
So it is a bonus action to do Expeditious Retreat and a spell. Do I have if this is multiple turns or whatever, can I also do Sending as an action?
So the first question I have for you is, how long does Expeditious Retreat last for? Is it a minute or is it an hour? I think it's a minute.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. So it's not going to be massively useful for these longer distances because these are 2 miles, but it will help. It will definitely speed it up a little bit. So my next question to you is, if you're moving north, do you want to go at a fast pace, a normal pace, or a slow pace and try and stealth?
I would just go at because I know that fast will be exhausting. I've done this before. I'll go at just a normal pace. My plan is to just get to Sentry in relatively short time.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, but without killing myself in the process.
Okay, no, that's fine. And then you want to cast Sending?
Yes, I wanted to cast Sending to Sentry to basically tell her to head south along the coast, so that I'll be heading north along the coast. We'll meet up somewhere on the coast, so she doesn't just wander off into the middle of nowhere and I can't find her.
Okay. All right, Sentry, you receive that message. You can respond. You got 25 words if you want to just... I'm assuming it'd be a, okay, or I'll see you there kind of thing.
Following what Quill says, yeah.
Sure. Right, so Sentry, so we see Quill kind of whoosh, wings outstretched, gliding, using the air to kind of save his strength, and this spell almost propelling him forward as he scores along the water in the direction towards Sentry. Sentry, things are a little bit different with you. As the rest of the group are making their way through the City of Glass, you kind of break water, like, you hear the messages from Ayla and Lucius, you send back to Quill. By the time those are all done, you realize that airship knows that you're down here, and it is coming down and it's looking for you. You can hear like people like calling out and stuff like that. You are out in the sea. I need you to make an athletics check, just like, you're kind of like you can tread water for as long as you're exhausted until you start getting tired. But if you want to go somewhere, you're going to have to basically fight, like you're going to have to swim. So just give me a straight up athletics check.
16 plus 9, 25.
Yeah, easily enough. So my question to you is, what do you want to do, Sentry? Like, this airship knows you're down here. It saw you rocket past, it shot at you and everything else. And it's searching for you. What do you want to do? Do you want to try and summon the Periton and get up on the Periton?
I think that's the plan. I think Sentry will go under the water, stay under the water for cover, and then while she's down there, summon Alnisix and try and head towards the coast, and then go south.
All right, you summon the Periton. It takes a minute to do that, so trying to stay underwater for all that time. You can do it. You kind of you don't need to breathe, so you just stay under there. You kind of like drifted around a bit, but you focus on the spell. The Periton is like, are you summoning it underwater, or are you going to come up and then summon it? Like, because if this Periton is summoned underwater, it's not going to be very happy.
Yeah, I imagine, I guess, Sentry will, as the Periton's coming out, Sentry will swim up to try and breach water, and then the Periton comes out in this, golden light, spreading its wings, all cool and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Sentry will jump on.
You swim up, the Periton, this great metallic mixture of metal and branches and vines with this golden light. The Periton kind of breaches the water with you on it, because it's your mount, right? Like, you can get it.
Yeah.
That is, the airship sees this.
It's gonna see that, yeah.
I'm gonna say we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh, cool. So okay.
The airship
Sentry versus the airship.
Well, so Quill will probably get there. Like, you guys are going to arrive because it takes time to summon the Periton, and this airship takes time to get down. So I'm not going to have you. This isn't just going to be Sentry. It's going to be Sentry to begin with, but then hopefully Quill and the others will arrive. But I will say this, Sentry, looking up, the airship's cannons, it has these big sort of underhull arcane turrets that, you were very powerful when they hit you. Looking up, the crew, it's not like this is elite Valkyrian soldiers. Most of them look like normal airship sailors with a couple of bits of Valkyrian equipment and weapons and things like that. There's maybe maybe 15 to 20 of them up on the airship itself. But the biggest threat is those turrets. Those turrets are definitely going to be the biggest threat. But yeah, this might not be as impossible. It's not an impossible battle here. This is, you are Sentinel Prime.
Oh no.
Right, bloody hell. I have to put together an encounter for this now. Give me a minute.
I mean, that's a hell of a vote of confidence where, Sentry, you are pretty much on your own, and Mark has just said, yeah, you could take an airship.
Well, Sentry is injured, though. That's the other biggest problem.
Yeah.
Is,
not in a good spot.
She's injured, that's the thing. So the other thing is you could try and basically avoid, just try and get away from this thing and try and take evasive maneuvers like you were before. I guess before we roll initiative, actually, what does Sentry want to do? Do you want to just try and X-wing dodge this thing and be evasive maneuvers, or do you want to fly up and get stuck into a combat?
I think she'd want to try and get to Quill. I think she'll try and evade this ship and just find
perfect.
Quill as soon as possible.
All right, let's have a look at some stuff then. Periton.
Okay, cool.
Right, 60 feet. Okay, so if all the Periton does is fly, you can basically go about 120 feet around. The airship flies it's actually not as fast as that, but it's obviously going to have range of weaponry. So you're going to be in range of its weapons for a fair few turns. However, they're slow. So rather than using your dexterity and stuff like that, let's use the Peritons because it makes way more sense. So on your turn, Sentry, do you basically just want to try and use your mount to try and avoid and duck and weave and try and present as difficult a hit target as you possibly can?
Just trying to duck and weave as much as possible.
give me an animal handling check to represent you controlling your mount, right?
Rock and roll. 1926.
26. So yeah, the what's the Periton's name? I can never pronounce it. It's
Alnixix.
Alnixis under your command sweeps and dives and docks and weaves, and yeah, it's gonna present a much harder target to hit. The weapons will try and hit the Periton, so they're gonna try and hit the Periton. Do you want to use your reaction to protection, Alnixis?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, disadvantage. Sure. And then I'll increase his AC as well.
Nice.
So disadvantage. Whoops. That is going to be a +7. That's going to be a 16, which would normally hit him, but because of the defensive flying, I'm going to give him a +5 AC. So as long as you can keep him defensive, he'll have an AC of 18. So the first barrage, like, just smacks into the water. This heavy force arcane cannon kind of blasting as you dip and weave to the side. A few of the figures on the top are going to try and shoot at you with their normal rifles. However, just this blast of fire like erupts all around you. Can you give me another animal handling check as you try and keep the mount?
20, unnatural 20.
20, yes, the same thing. AC of 18, and then disadvantage on the attack roll for the first one. That's going to be 9 + 7, 16. So again, a narrow miss. Like this blast impacts near your mount, churning up water as it splashes into the ocean, as this giant beam of light kind of cascades downwards, and then up above the crew is going to take a shot. Natural 1. Their aim just completely ineffectual as it tries to rain down fire up against you. And then lastly, that is going to be the same thing. Oh, animal handling check. Sorry, can you give me another animal handling check?
Yeah. Oh, that's a 11.
11. This time, not enough to give, you can sense that the mount's getting tired and you're trying to spur it on, but it doesn't have the strength to. However, with your shield this time, thanks to the deflection ability, you turn around and this one beam you manage to tank on the shield, preventing it from hitting your mount, just like splitting the energy of light around you as it's like
oh my
it
God.
erupts into the water. The crew on top, however, this time they do manage to succeed. Their kind of arcane force rifles slamming down into the mount. 5 points of force damage. He has 33 hit points, by the way, so he has 28 left. Flying on for like this distance, Quill, you can see in the distance, you can see the sentry and the airship coming too. You're probably going to get there before the others because they're moving on foot, and you've got the expeditious retreat as well. So I'm going to say you get there first.
Okay.
But yeah, these guys are still several hundred feet ahead, but you can see this like sentry coming towards you.
I mean, we intend to head once we meet up. We intend to head into the City of Glass. So this ship is going to be a problem for a long time. So I want to try a divine intervention, please. And I am asking for a strong wind to throw the thing off course, so it basically like spirals. Don't make that face. Oh wait, I've tried this before, haven't I? And it didn't work.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying again anyway. Quill is hoping.
Even here with the winds around you, with Siaska still effectively asleep or dead, whatever you want to call it, and with Hesper's guidance, has to roll under his level. It's
I got a 92, so it was way off.
Definitely it wouldn't have happened anyway.
I'm dyslexic, okay? I go the other way around. I thought it was
fine. But yeah, sadly, no prayer to answer. Sentry.
Okay.
Anything you want to do, or you just want to keep trying this tactic?
Just get into Quill. Just going. Just yeah.
Do you want to do like lay on? Do you want to use your action to lay on hands yourself or anything, or cast a spell?
Actually. I could do with that. Yeah.
Would you like to heal yourself?
I would like to do that. I will heal myself.
About to hurt
you know
you a
what?
lot
Yeah.
more.
It's also like I can tell Rhiannon's like, stuff's happening. Like it's easy to forget stuff.
I'll do 50 lay on hands points because I'm not
quite a lot of hit
I'm
points,
not
yeah.
looking good. I'm on 53.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so you feel the Matrix kind of rejuvenates you, as actually, Sentry, as you're nearing the border, because you've kind of been out at sea and you're kind of flying your way towards the coast, as you're drawing closer to the City of Glass, it's almost... It's like hearing dozens of voices at a distance. You can hear, not they're whispers, but they're louder. Like they're coming from a great distance. Like there's this great song or voice or chant or something coming from the City of Glass. You can hear, well, not hear, you can feel all of these voices, some of them enraged, some of them afraid, some of them desperate for sustenance, hungry. Some of them, you can sense a presence, but it's like their silence. It's like hearing their silence. It's a very strange sensation. Like you can hear the absence of their voices, where voices should be. Dozens, hundreds, thousands of them.
I think in that moment, Sentry would get... I think she would get a little distracted, and maybe Alnissix would slow down, and like she'd just glance over to where it was coming from.
Okay, sure. So do you want to like not use your defensive ability this turn?
Yeah, she'd be distracted. She'd be like, yeah, like what is going on?
Okay. As you're distracted, as you're like looking, a great barrage from the airship connects with the Periton. That's a 10 and a 9. 23. 30 points of damage. The mount just comes apart into pieces. You have 28 HP left. The mount just kind of breaks apart beneath you, and you feel yourself beginning to plummet down towards the coast. What do you want to do?
What have I got to do? What can I do? Can I... How far from like the coast am I?
I'd say that you're kind of bordering on the edges of the coast. The bigger issue is you're about sort of 80, 90 feet up in the air. You're probably going to impact with the coast. Reaching the coast is not a problem. It's the force and speed of which you are currently decelerating, which is perhaps more of an issue.
Can I use Misty Step to teleport up before I hit the ground? So to kind of negate the force.
Yeah. So you kind of time yourself. You hold the spell energy in the matrix, and as you feel yourself about to impact the ground, you launch yourself about 30 feet, like diagonally forward, to try and minimize that fall. You do still come smashing down. You're going to take 3d6 of fall damage.
A double jump to negate fall damage.
Yeah. That's going to be 12 points of bludgeoning damage. So you do take some, like you kind of smash into the stone debris, kind of popping up, erupting all around you as you kind of roll. And now you stand on like a rocky, almost cliff-like face. Not cliff-like, like a rocky shoreline. You can see that, maybe sort of a few hundred feet behind you are the walls of the City of Glass, these crumbling, glassed over ruinous walls. But you are now out in the open on the shoreline looking up as this airship is turning to bring all of its guns to bear. This is the point where Quill, you kind of swooping along the shoreline, you're going to join the fight, as well as Ayla, Lucius, and Nova. You guys have made your way to the wall and found like an old battlement's ladder that the defenders of this city would have used, and kind of making your way up. You emerge up onto the walls, onto the battlements. As you look down, you see Sentry landing, come skidding, kind of like dust and rock and dirt being churned up as she turns to look at this airship that is now basically engaged in battle about sort of 200 feet in front of you. From the walls, you can see this battle taking place as then Quill... And that's where we end today's episode.
Can I land behind the shield?
Oh, yes. 3-point landing.
What a spicy situation we found ourselves in.
It's just an airship. Just an airship.
Yeah.
We can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would help.
Yeah.
It would help them. Horizon, at least.
It
take
will.
it out?
It definitely
I've got an
will.
idea. Yeah.
I did
I've
say
got an
I
idea
wanted
on
to
what
get
to
rid
do.
of some weapons.
That's
and,
true.
This is what I wanted. Didn't get my treasure though, did I?
Yeah.
You nearly did. You bloody nearly
I
did.
was close,
got
really close.
So close.
So
Got
close.
yeeted into the sea instead.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can deal with all of these problems, maybe you can sneak by Tom on your way out once all of these problems are solved.
Go back later. It's fine.
Yeah.
What later
You know.
are you expecting there to be? I'm not sure
You know,
what
'cause
later you're expecting.
Once this is all
we save
fine.
We saved the city of glass. Giselle is just like, wow, that was amazing, and you looked really cool. We're going to join you now. Also, open borders. You're free to travel wherever you want, including that
Yeah.
raid.
Okay.
Do you want a
nice.
convoy there? Like, we'll
I love
accompany
it.
you there. Like, you know.
I'm a dreamer. I admit it.
I love it. Well,
That was amazing.
done.
That was super, super cool. I know you were
Very
saying
nice.
you only put it together today and it was clumsy or whatever. It didn't feel like
Yeah,
it was
a bit
awesome.
clumsy. Like the mechanics, are they perfect? No. Were they fun? Yeah, I think so.
Hell
I
yeah.
had
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
That was
You guys
great
seem to
fun.
have
Yeah.
fun.
And
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
you
that's
did do
what
a
we're
bit
about.
of a loop
Fun.
de loop. I did like the fact it was like starting here, ended here. That was quite
Start
funny.
at the bottom,
Spiraling
still
to where we want to be.
Yeah, but it could have. The other thing as well is like whenever you put the dice involved, like quite a few times you guys rolled really badly. Like Quill had some really unfortunate rolls. Lucius had some really unfortunate rolls that ended up you guys failing. Like if you guys had succeeded on a lot of those rolls, you would have just picked where you were going, and then you would have just got there. It would have been fine. But combined with the random rolls for the direction, like you could have ended up so many other places there, and it would have changed things dramatically.
I think we ended
yeah.
up in an okay. An
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Could have been
A
worse.
little bit of
Could have
dice
been way worse.
spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 tiles away from the target, so accuracy is not on point, but
What?
alive.
Yeah, but at least we're up in the area where we need
Effort.
to go and see people,
Oh, right,
rather than yeeted into the ocean further, or completely off the other direction, like miles and miles and miles and miles to travel.
We wanted to get onto the ground. We're on the ground.
We're on the ground.
It was
We're
one
on
of
the
those
ground.
things where because when you guys were talking last week, you were I think like not the last week, the week before, I mentioned the skiff idea, and you were like, "Nah, we'll just fly. We can use fly spells." And I was like, "Okay." So part of this was like I had this idea of like the whole time you guys would be like battle royale all individually, and the idea of all of you just being like randomly scattered everywhere.
We would have been
That was
scattered miles from each
I
other.
would have loved that.
Miles.
That'd be
Yeah.
amazing. We could have done like one-on-one sessions where it's just like, right, this session is 3 hours of just me and Quill as Quill
yeah.
treks across the fucking wilderness by himself. Next week,
Oh
it's me and
god, we
Trott.
would all die. We
It
would
been
all
amazing.
just die.
No, it would have been cool.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Yeah, it would have been dope.
That'd
I
been
mean,
good.
Nova's just like teleport circle.
Oh, yeah.
And also, and I'm invisible as well. Like I've got the action. I can use an action to turn invisible. So I would have just gone invisible and zipped around trying to find you all.
Also, the individual
Chase me.
episodes would change in quality so much. Me and Lucius's solo episodes would just be like, "Ah, ah, ah, ah," and just running. Meanwhile, Sentry and Ayla's episodes, oh yeah, we took down an airship each.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I just check out this army. What you been doing? Screaming in a circle.
I went and found
Find some treasure though.
Found some treasure.
I tried to divine
made a
intervention.
friend.
Why is it not working?
I had like little ideas planned for like the forests, and like if each of you ended up, I did have some like ideas for
I'm glad
future
you thought
sessions
ahead
and
of
stuff.
that. Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have handled that as a DM. It's like, well, it didn't end up anywhere I wanted them to be. They're just scattered.
Yeah, it would have been
I
great.
cannot believe you put the statue in there from the random note that I've had since episode
Dude,
1.
That statue has been there. Like I knew exactly where it was
Since day
from
one.
session 0. Like I was like since day
Right.
1. But because when you came to the City of the Glass last time, you basically only ever went to the very tip of the peninsula.
Yeah.
And you didn't have a map or anything like that. You literally just went down. You crashed, in fact, because the airship blew up. So you didn't
Yeah,
have a
Nova.
chance to scout around or look around. So I just put it there.
Oh.
There it is.
What a defensible location, a great place to land.
And bonus treasure. Perfect.
And
crash.
treasure,
Perfect.
exactly.
Right. Let's I'm sure that there's a few messages to read, so we should crack on with those for show.
Indeedy. There was a donation from Varys. No message, as per usual. Thank you very much, Varys. Happiest in winter with a second donation for a total of a half hundo now. Donation 2 out of 2 is for my friend Hannah, who can't watch live today. Hello, Hannah. Late last year, I convinced them to watch Erois, and we spent 6 months binging it together.
Wow.
Safe to say she enjoyed, and now we look forward to Thursdays and Sundays together. Amazing.
I would hope
thank
that
you
they
very
enjoyed
much.
it after 6 months. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
definitely
Well, thank you very much, Happiest and
Thank you very much.
watching and Hannah.
Thank you.
Snowy the Wonder Dog is a wonderful dog indeed because they donated 3 hundo.
Whoa!
Holy crap.
Thank you.
Whoa!
Where does a dog get that kind of money? Clear skies, blessing to you all.
Dogecoin.
Thanks for the love, laughter. We're going to delete that joke.
Doja coin makes me think of a very different type of bit currency.
Clear skies,
shaking
blessing
up.
to you all. Thanks for the love, laughter, and life you give through the campaign. Live, laugh, love. You've helped this old broad with a dog in ways you'll never know since I've watched the VOD. Even at my age, I started playing D&D with some friends. Amazing. That's awesome. I'm glad you get to play. That's super cool. Thank you very much, Snowy the Wonder Dog. Grandmaster DJ or Grindmaster DJ, happy birthday, nerds. Wish I could be there live to celebrate, but I was in a car accident like 20 minutes before you started.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
What? Oh my god, are you okay? I hope since
you're
you're
okay.
okay.
If they're sending us messages.
Yeah.
Still?
The wreckage.
Hey,
You're not like
upside
texting
down
us
right
from
now?
the ambulance, are you? Or like, do you need help?
We need to wrap up on Yogs, by the way, because we're
Oh,
still
yes,
live
yes,
on
yes,
there.
Classic pals.
So
Cool.
thank
Alright.
you for joining
Bye,
us
Yogs.
on the 3rd birthday of Erois.
Thanks, Yoggies.
Yes. Yes,
please
indeed.
enjoy
Thank you.
Parsec Pals. We'll be
Say
continuing
hi
to
to Pat and Boba.
indeed, and we'll continue on High Rollers D&D if you want to keep seeing us. Until then, bye.
Bye.
They're gone.
Bye.
They're gone.
They're gone. Well, Grandmaster
piss off.
DJ or Grindmaster DJ. I was in a car accident like 20 minutes before you started. Anyway, I get through so many of these episodes a week. I've made a list of things to say as they happen so I don't forget. Grandmaster DJ again but the list starts next week. Very busy. Can't type it with eloquence it deserves. I've got like 154 characters left, so I got some time to fill. I could start on the list, but it looks like I've already said it starts next week, and that'd make me a liar. So I'll just...
There it goes.
Ghost
Did
in
you
pro-
bang your head?
I love when donations just cut off like that.
Yeah,
Ghost in
I think they
progress.
cut donations.
Yeah, another car crash.
Oh, Christ. I didn't mean it like
Stop.
that. I meant they were just in a wreck, which means that they're not typing. Never
Just
mind.
stop. Just stop.
We really love you, and we hope that you're well. Thanks.
Here's a transition for you.
Ghost in progress with a half hundo. Woo! Half hundo. Ghost in progress. Thank you very much. Jokes aside, all you managed to build here is so amazing. Jokes aside from a donation I think I made in the break. All you managed to build here is so amazing. I was dropped from my group with no warning, and it made it really hard to enjoy D&D. But this wonderful community has revived my love for the game. Here's to more joy, tears, and airship crashes. Thank you very much, Ghost in
Thank
Progress.
you.
I hope you are able to find a game amongst everyone in High Rollers as well. The community there. There's a lot of people. Fail has donated. Fail with the wonderful wallpaper. Happy birthday, Erois. I'm Hulk now. Thanks for 3 years of wonderful stories. It's been an absolute great ride. Even if I haven't been here since the beginning, you guys have created such a fantastic thing. Also, thanks, Tom. I do really like that wallpaper. Me too.
It's good wallpaper.
It's good wallpaper.
Thank you for your artwork as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's incredible.
And oh god, Crispy Crispy has donated 3 hundo.
Whoa.
Crispy!
Oh, wow.
Crispy.
Crispy.
Crispy. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Crispy.
Crispy.
Thanks for the amazing anniversary video. Happy 3 years, Erois. Thank you very much. I'll do a quick refresh, see what we got, and I'll also check the Discord from Nightjar. Speaking of Nightjar, we just had a donation from Nightjar that says, shit, right, I forgot to donate. Right, yes. I mean, you all know I love you, so whatever, nerds.
Thanks.
Thanks, nerd.
Love you, Nightjar.
We also had more gifted subs from Grandmaster DJ or Grindmaster DJ, Dork Love Sports, Idoniken, and Max the Menace. We also had more bits from John MP Art Geek and Dragulita, as well as $250 dues in bits from MK13
Wow.
Wolf.
Wow. Thank you.
You know what? I've watched since Lightfall. I feel like I owe you this much. For those many hours watched, don't you dare tell me I don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. I'm a young man with disposable income. So for the little friends that cannot donate, and I cannot say, I can say a lot of positive things, most of them already said by others. So thanks for being a nice, stable constant for me and many others. Damn.
Thank you.
God damn.
Very kind.
Very nice. Thank you very much, MK13 Wolf. And also another Yog Dono. It's from Ace of Thorns. And they say, I wish I could have contributed to the anniversary videos, but life, you know? This has been and continues to be one heck of a ride. And I will always be deeply grateful for the guys, for the card you guys sent me when my mum died last year. Love, hugs, and clear skies. Thank you very much, Ace of Thorns.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you everyone else for the very generous donations. Much love. See ya.
Let's go.
Night just says we need to fill time. So fill time. I don't think I was need to read that.
In that case, we have a donation from Socialism for the Win, and they say, "Happy third birthday, Aro. It's been watching live since episode 1 of Lightfall." What is that?
I'm just seeing if I can live type.
After the force of sorry, I messed up. After the force of nature that series was, I thought I could never love Erois like that, and it will never be as good. Okay, and you only went and did
so
it.
Stilted.
No, I'm just so Chot can keep up. I know he's trying to catch up, and you only went and did it. Amazing, love it, love you all.
It's really
Thank you, Socialism for the Win. So what was that message? Yeah, that was about. That was about. That was it. That was it. There it is.
All right.
Well
Okay.
done, Trot.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
Live captioning from Chris Trott.
I think I could do that whilst
Yeah.
role playing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
nice
doing the
jar.
music.
Live caption the whole show, could you?
Yeah.
All six of us.
Nightjar also says thank you to Valdana for donating some gift subs too.
Amazing.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
Oh, and also
Oh,
for
seriously.
everyone who left a message in that thing as well. We'll read through all of them.
Yeah.
It's going to take so long to read through. There's so many.
It's also the kind of thing like I kind of want to read it offline because I feel like it's a lot of it's going to be heartfelt and you know I want to actually
also,
read
What he's saying is he doesn't want
270.
to cry again on stream
Yeah.
tonight.
There's also
Basically.
270
Yeah.
messages. So
wow.
Yeah, we'll
yeah, we're not getting through that in the stream.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you very
really
much.
kind.
Yeah.
Seriously. All the lovely comments, all the lovely support and donations, and whether buying merch or whatever it happens to be. Thank you all so much for supporting the show and just, you know, letting us be D&D nerds for a living, basically, is what most of us do. I mean, and a lot of us have got other jobs or other channels that we work on, but I think being able to do High Rollers is definitely the highlight of all of our weeks, really, of getting to do this professionally and getting to do all
I
the
love
cool
editing
stuff that we get to do.
TTT.
Shut up, you.
Well, I wasn't impressed. That.
But yeah, it's just it really means a lot, and to have you guys support us all the way and care about the campaign so much is very nice. And just fucking these two trying to be heartfelt, and it's just these two dickheads.
It's him, sir. It's him. He always winds me up.
I love these two
want
dickheads,
me, sir?
even if they are being dickheads. So
We are. It's this third episode, third anniversary. I'll happily admit I am a dickhead.
Yeah. Well, that's it from us. We will see you next week.
Yes.
Keep posted. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure you check out D&D Beyond. We love you, D&D Beyond.
Thank you.
That's all the good stuff. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. 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 Bye.